Welcome everyone to Worth a Damn Gaming. My name is Jake Starvik, and here joining me as per usual is Street Rat Atlas. How are you, sir?
Hello, I'm good. I haven't even started my stream properly.
That's okay. You get yours going. I'm just starting the intro for our new and upcoming podcast that we've been playing around with, or I've been kind of playing around with and seeing if there's any traction. Which, I gotta admit, I'm still trying to get my head around how to get all of the... So, there's like 2 channels that I've got set up, specifically. Which is the regular rss.com, and then I've got it through Spotify, which I think is the best one to do it. And Spotify's got the tools there so that you can then link it to all the other channels, but for some reason it's not working for me, so I need to play around with that. So right now I've really only got it working on Spotify and just a regular RSS, which I've been uploading to that. So yes. Now, our friend Street Rat has recently had his wisdom teeth taken out. All 4, lucky bastard.
Hey.
So he's got a -4 on his wisdom stat.
But
So he may have certain moments where he'll go a little quiet just to kind of give his mouth a rest, which is fine. But how are you feeling?
Spit out the blood.
Yes.
I'm feeling good. I am very excited because I have officially gone live on YouTube for the first time.
Yeah. That is exciting.
So I want to make sure everything is good.
Okay. Been playing much? I noticed you were playing Aliens vs. Predator.
Oh my god, it is such a good fucking game.
Now, is that the original, or is that the newer version that came out?
This is the newer version. Oh, okay. Well, so it's the 2010 version of the game.
Yep.
Not the 2007 version, because this is the remake of the game.
Okay. Oh, this is the remake.
A re-release. It's not technically a remake.
Okay. No, because they did do like a remake or like a newer version. What? I don't even remember what year that was. Let's have a look here. No, I don't want that.
So this came out in 2010.
Versus Predator games. And yours is 2010, huh? Oh my god, there's been heaps. Don't even realize. What do we have? Predator, Prey, Predators, The Great Hunt. Jesus Christ. Alien Infestation. Aliens versus Predator. Oh. Yeah, okay, so this was the newer one. Right. Interesting. Because if I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking... No, maybe that was it. Versus Predator 2. No, this is the one that I'm familiar with. So the one that I really loved was the pre-2001.
Which one was that?
So the original Aliens vs. Predator game was 1999, which was PC and Macintosh. And then they released a sequel, Aliens vs. Predator 2, in 2001. And that, honestly, was probably the one that I loved. So you got to play as each of the different factions through their own specific storylines that also intertwined, which was really cute. And then the multiplayer feature of that was neat because you could either just pick your alien, and you had a couple of different aliens you could pick. You had your Marines that you could play as, and you could play as a couple of different Predators with various different tools. And so you just fight each other. But it had a mode specifically for the aliens where you could start as the little crawler. So you would then have to try and stealthily, in the multiplayer match, find a host, jump on him, and then obviously you come out as like the little creature that you then have to start eating your way and grow in order to then be sufficient enough in the combat scenario, which was really neat. But what was fun with that is if you attacked the predator, so if you did just a marine, you'd be able to choose what kind of alien you came out as. If you attacked the predator, you'd come out as the specific predator version of the alien.
That's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such a neat mode. Like, I get it was probably really hard for that specific class if you were doing that mode, but just as a concept, fucking hell, that was just really fucking cool. Just really, really fucking cool. So you're playing, or we're playing, the newest one.
Yes.
How?
Which is interesting. So I'm only playing as the xenomorph because fuck playing as the humans. They're boring. I'm not really into the predator, the xenomorph for the win.
Yep.
And it's been really fun.
Nice.
I'm a few levels in. It's a game that I'm kind of just dabbling in because I finished watching Alien Earth. And I was like, I'm so in the mood to play Alien.
Yep.
Not like Isolation. I don't want to be hunted. I want to do the hunting.
Yep.
And I've had the game for years.
Yep.
So it is really fun. Straight to the point. It feels like a game from 2010. But it's enjoyable.
Rebellion, right.
Yes, they did do, which is crazy.
And of course, published by Sega. Yeah. So I remember this game looking really really nice, and they did some interesting stuff, but it just, compared to some of the mechanics that they had in AVP 2 back in 2001, it felt a little bit more muted, which was unfortunate, at least for me. But no, it's being given relatively high praise. Like, it's very positive on Steam. It's gotten like 4.5. So yeah, I would say it's as good as you're saying.
Yeah. And it's not something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, out of this world. No, it's an action game set in the AVP universe. Like, it is what it is. It delivers on that so well.
Yep.
And it's fun. I have been playing that.
Yes.
I've also dabbled in a new campaign
of
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, yep, because you're all right. So you're starting your own different journey and your own character. Awesome.
Yeah. Because one of my friends, Ella, she has gotten back into playing Baldur's Gate 3, and she's playing the Dark Urge.
Yep.
Which is a completely different game.
Yes.
Already, the beginning of the game is already different. And I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I am so in the mood to play Baldur's Gate. Let's just do a new campaign.
Yep.
I've installed the mods to have as many party members. The enemies will then scale to the amount of people I have in the team. Yep. So I've already got 5.
Yep.
No, 4. 4? Yeah, I've got Shadowheart, Gale. I've got Lae'zel. Who's my other one? Oh, Astarion. So I've already got the 4. And I'm already fighting the urge to just murder people. It's so fucking cool. So I've pumped a few hours into a new campaign. I'm up to the Emerald Grove, and I'm thinking of changing it up a bit.
Naturally, as you'd expect.
Yeah, I think I'm going to kind of lean into
the Dark Urge.
Murdering. Yep. Yeah, here and there.
When it suits me fancy.
Exactly. Of course.
Good. That's the only way to play it.
But it's just so fun. Honestly, I think Baldur's Gate is such a phenomenal game because you can experience the game so many different ways.
Yep.
Like, I don't have to save Gale. I don't have to save Lae'zel. I can kill them straight away. If I fail a check for Gale, I can lose him forever. Lae'zel could have died by being captured. It's so interesting and so much fun. So I'm really enjoying it. But on Wednesday, I streamed Lies of P.
And how are you finding it?
Fuck the illusionist. She was so fucking annoying. That whole area is really fun to explore. The whole redux of that area. Love it. I thought it was really refreshing. But that boss in particular really pissed me off.
Yeah.
So I ended up lowering the difficulty just to the medium difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
And I chewed through her so quickly that I realized, oh, lowering the difficulty actually slows down the boss.
Yep.
So
makes
you
her
have
less
time.
aggro.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was playing a lot more hostile. I was right in her face, and I took her down.
Nice.
She only summoned once. And I was like, oh.
Wait, did she summon more than once for you?
Yeah, she summoned twice.
Oh, she didn't even do that for me. Shit.
Oh, lucky bastard.
Yeah. No, she only did it once. So I must have obliterated her before she even had a chance.
God damn.
Yeah. So that's kind of the interesting thing, because I acknowledge this game is fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. It's There was a video I was watching, Babe 1, Babe 2, I think his name is, on YouTube. He's been doing a stream with his father, so he's gotten his like 70-year-old father to play through Dark Souls 1 and got him into that, and he actually ended up finishing it, and now he's doing Sekiro apparently, and apparently having a decent time with that, which is really cool. But of course, on the side, he's also been doing these videos that are analyzing all the hitboxes, all the kind of timings of everything, really getting into the nuts and bolts of the game and comparing it to the Souls franchise. And he kind of iterated on one of his recent videos how it's the best, closest example of a Souls-like that grabs all the best elements and removes some of the worst. And I'm inclined to agree with him on most of what he says. But there's something about that base difficulty, and I know, like, I get, and he has made a very valid point in relation to Elden Ring, because I gotta admit, some of the bosses in Elden Ring get stupidly ridiculous, where they really don't give you any opportunity to recognize the attack. You just get obliterated in one hit. Like, you see it, and then you either need to know what it is and react accordingly, but most of the time you're just gonna die. There's no way to defend against those really hardcore onslaughts that just get thrown at you.
Yeah.
And when he compares that to Lies of P, where he says, look, a lot of those bigger attacks that happen, you have enough time to recognize what's about to come at you. And most of the time, and this is in his words, most of the time you have more than enough health, like it doesn't completely wipe you out. And I partially agree with that. But there are some combos that if you do not block correctly, you are just going to get obliterated. Whether it's in the base game or whether it's in the DLC. I will admit that, yes, the enemies are a little bit better at they're better at telegraphing, and they do give you better opportunities to attack after you've kind of staggered them. So that is the one upside that I must admit he pointed out, that unlike Souls games where if you stagger the enemy and you punish them, The game doesn't give you much time to punish. Whereas at least with Lies of P, you get more than enough time to punish the enemy after you've kind of staggered them or you've done something to them. So they reward you in that sense throughout the combat scenario, which is nice. But then when they do throw out the onslaught and you're not blocking accordingly, you are going to get wiped. There's no ifs or buts about it. And that goes doubly through the DLC. I must admit, I had a better time with the Illusionist personally compared to you. I think it only took me 3 goes. So
what?
Yeah, that's the thing. This is what's fascinating, because a lot of the main bosses, like the major bosses where you go in and you have a huge arena, they're the ones that fuck me up, and I'm there for like 20, 30 goes, and this is my problem with this game in particular, because for the most part, I might only have throughout a whole Souls experience maybe 3 or 4 bosses that are that much of a pain in the ass. In Elden Ring, I probably had like 5 that were just, I had to keep pounding. But it never felt like I was having to replay that many times compared to the consistency that I have with Lies of P, where because of the blocking system, because it actually does damage to you when you do block, you don't really have a proper defensive mechanism like you do with the shield. And I would say that with Sekiro's blocking mechanics being a little bit more forgiving with the blocks, especially on its base difficulty, because of course Sekiro has harder difficulties that you can add on top that then plays similar to Lies of P. But at least its base difficulty is hard but challenging. And it's at least fair in the blocking mechanics where it doesn't feel like you have to be pinpoint precise on a base difficulty. And it sounds like with the difficulty modifier that you're experiencing, you end up having the opposite effect where it goes, we're now just going to ease the aggro on the boss. And I don't want that, because I think the aggro level on the boss is actually fine. It's the amount of damage that they do versus the amount of damage that you need to do to them in order to defeat them. And this is going to be different for everyone, because everyone has their very specific level of what's an ideal level of sadisticness am I using the right word, sadistic? Where you like torturing yourself? Masochist?
Masochist.
Yeah. Everyone's got their own level of masochist associated with them when they're playing these games. And I enjoy a challenge. This is why I go through these games. And I think the biggest thing that I love about them is the sense of discovery. Going around a corner, finding something new, dealing with a new enemy that you haven't encountered before, and having that sense of adrenaline kick you of what is he going to throw at me that I have to be ready for. And that's fun. Thank you, Rodney. But there's a point where it does get a little bit too... It's the requirement to just keep bashing your head in a brick wall just to get through that challenge, it loses its sense of reward. And again, every person's going to have their own personal kind of that fine line that they go, this is either going to be too hard, in which case I lose interest, or it's going to be too easy, in which case can we bump it up a bit more? And that's always very subjective. And I think he does make the point, Babe 1, Babe 2, that with the Elden Ring DLC specifically, he recognizes the fact that the developers at some point over the course of them making these games have gone, we realize that there's a small sect of you that are going to turn around and just say flat out that these bosses are too easy. So we're just going to make it as ridiculously challenging to really up the game so that none of you can turn around and say, oh yeah, that was a walk in the park kind of deal. But it then ends up pushing a bunch of other people away that don't want that level of difficulty, especially if it's DLC and they want to get through the story and it's not like an optional boss that's on the side, like a Millennia where it's, here's where the challenge is. This is optional content. You don't have to do it. It's not part of the base game. But we're really going to push you here. And that's, I think, kind of the issue I'm having with Lies of P is everything is major content. And for him to turn around and say, oh, like even the way the levels loop around are much better. Yes and no. I think they are well structured, but I don't feel like the game, at least not until now that I'm kind of going through the DLC, I feel like the developers have figured out a little bit more of a open side to your exploration. But a lot of Lies of P is very linear. There's not many opportunities to divert off another corridor and find a completely different path and a completely different direction that takes you off on a separate journey to a very different boss or a different island. There's none of that. It is just a very straightforward game. You might do the occasional loop. There might be a small little nook that you go up to, but it doesn't have the same level of hidden secrets and weird loops that go back to the very beginning, the way Dark Souls 1 or 2 has, or even Dark Souls 3, where again, even 3, though it's more linear, has moments where it kind of branches off and you go, oh, this is now taking me in a completely different direction. And now I talk to this person, do a little prayer, and now I'm being whisked away into a very different biome with a different set of bosses with a whole little story arc associated with it. So there's none of that, which is a shame. But that said, it's still very well structured, and it's still a very well designed game. And again, like I said the other week, as much as I understand someone like Jason turning around and saying, you need to play this game at its base difficulty, I get where you're coming from because you're a serious masochist, but at a certain point, they even recognize that the fact that our game is ridiculously hard and it pushes certain people away. And that's why they've got the easy difficulties. I don't think there's not anything wrong with that. And to judge people harshly and say, oh, you're just a review critic that's going to play the game on easy. Fuck off. Not everyone has a abundance amount of time to sit there with a single boss for over 2 or 3 hours. Like I spent close to, when I look at, Jesus Christ, we're going to be talking about this for a while. When I look at my playtime for Lies of P, and this is really reflective because in the grand scheme of things, it's not a long game until you realize that you're spending more time dying to a boss. And by that point, if you enjoy that process, fine, you get more gameplay, but I don't find that indicative of the length of game because it's not. It's indicative of we've just made a really nice brick wall for you to try and get around.
Yeah.
So 37 hours, and I know that a good 10 or 15 of that is me just having to repeat bosses. So it's more like 27 hours when you think about the amount of actual gameplay, unique gameplay time that I'm experiencing. But again, everyone has their own preference. This is why your roguelike games do so well. They're literally the same type of game, but you're just going through it again and again and again and again, obviously with variations. But you're typically fighting the same bosses and the same type of layouts. You just get different items or a different variation of the enemies. Gamers are, so Rodney Wood says, gamers are supposed to be relaxing. If you find a challenge relaxing, that's okay. And if you are playing games on easy, that's okay too. Thank you, Rodney.
100%. This also brings a point of how one plays a game. Because when I play Lies of P, I actually take advantage of the summoner. And
yes.
I don't care. I utilize that shit.
Yep.
It's not cheating because it was built into the game.
Correct. I agree with you.
So I don't have any issues for anyone that says, "Oh, I summon." When I fucking remember when everyone was cracking the shit when people were saying, "Oh, you use summons in Elden Ring, you use the mimic tier, that's cheating." No, it fucking isn't. Because it's built into the game.
They
I didn't
put it in
code
there.
that.
Yep.
They gave that to me.
Yep.
I am going to take advantage of the tools, the assets.
Yep.
Using the blood katana is not fucking cheating. It's just a really good fucking weapon.
Yep.
It's not cheating. It is how I want to play the game. If I choose to use what is built within, then I'm going to take advantage of it. When I play Minecraft, I have turned off that I lose my gear when I die. I keep it on. So I have keep inventory on.
Yep.
Some people call that cheating. I don't fucking care. I don't have time to go all the way back to where I died, pick up all my items. Fuck it. I died in lava. Fuck, I lost everything. Now I have to regrind for everything. No. It's not cheating.
I turned
so
that.
I agree.
Yeah. It's again, and it's what is your level of masochism and what is your level of challenge? Like I'm playing a game right now that requires you to make potions just so you can save. Like how fucking ridiculous is that? But they want to give you a sense of feeling like you're in the world so that you're saving when you're sleeping, which is an incentive for you to rest for the character because the character needs rest and you only get rest by sleeping. So it's this, like the system feeds into itself where it goes, look, we're not going to have you save at we're going to give you save points at certain major milestones through quests. That's fine. We understand. We don't want you repeating this whole massive battle sequence when you've just gone through this whole encounter and you've successfully done all of that. Well done. Here you go. Here's a checkpoint. But when you're just exploring the open world, they want to give you a sense of loss that, like a Souls game, and I think this is brilliant, if you're going from point A to point B and you choose to deal with an encounter while you're just like your mission might be, I just need to deliver this package to this person in the other town. That is very fucking straightforward. But if you happen to come across something on the way or a couple of encounters on the way and you choose to engage with them, which again is your choice, that is a risk that you take. And if you die, well, guess where you start back at? The last time you saved, which is most likely when you slipped. Unless you've got the I think it's the peach snaps, which is his like favorite drink that he uses to save. And once you get alchemy in the game, you just make heaps of that shit. And now I've got my alchemy to the point where I can just auto brew 3 at a time. And I'm like, yep, this is great. This is awesome. I use one set of resources for 3 of these fuckers. Let's go. I'm going to make hundreds of these and I can quick save whenever the fuck I want. So you can do it right before an encounter, which is neat. Or if you're about to steal or like lockpick something or you're going to pickpocket someone, you can just go quick save, like drink the actual peach snaps, and then try and steal. If it fails, okay, reload. Is that considered cheating? No, it's a mechanic that's in the fucking game. They've given that to you as a reward. There's nothing. Play the game how you want. You want to challenge yourself, you want to add arbitrary levels of difficulty, that's fine. That's why we have streamers that go and make these games as fucking hard as possible. There are people that will go through a whole Souls game at level 1 with not upgrading any of their weaponry and just punching without trying to die. And it's like, congratulations. If you're getting this much value out of the game and you feel that you have mastered all the mechanics down to a fine art, power to you. And I'm sure you're offering so much entertainment for people. But when you're someone who just wants to experience the game once through and enjoy and have a good time, as Rodney Wood said, you want it to be a relaxing experience. And if you want the tension, that's fine. You up the tension to what is preferable to you, because eventually the tension disappears. When you're having, this is the thing, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. Tension works because you're uneased about something, you're unsure about something. When you're having to repeat something again and again and again, the tension disappears, and now it's a different mental state that you're in because you're now having to actually learn something. And the only time that there's actual tension is when you're maybe closer to the goal. That's it. And there's a sensation of satisfaction when you accomplish that. But, I mean, isn't this entertainment at the end of the day? Shouldn't we all just be enjoying ourselves? And if we want a level of challenge, well, fuck it. We'll go find that challenge, whether it's in the form of entertainment or whether it's out in the rest of the world that we choose to live. You know, whether you're working out, whether you're studying for an exam or learning a new language. There's plenty of ways to challenge yourselves other than just, I need to have a game that's going to keep batting me over the head.
Yeah.
You have more tension when you have more to lose. Right you are, Rodney. Right you are, sir. So, yes, I feel your frustration, and it's funny. So I'm wondering, are you going to up the difficulty now, or are you going to keep
I've
it?
put it back to normal.
Okay, cool.
Not normal. I put it. Sorry. So I bumped it to medium just so I could defeat her, and then I put it back to the hardest difficulty.
All right. So you're
about
probably
to get to the hotel.
Yep. So I gather you're probably just going to use that as your, you know what, I don't want to fuck with this anymore. Let's drop it down, go through it, continue on, pump it back up.
Yeah, very dependent on how the boss is, because I don't know why I got really frustrated with her in particular.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was, sorry, I just had Neurofen.
No, you're right. I'm just feeling the air.
There's this moment that I had when I first started fighting her. I died, and I was like, okay, yep, this boss wants me to parry. Awesome. Got it. But I just could not fucking do it. Every time I parried, I visceral attacked her. She summoned a second one. Her attacks just kept getting me. And I don't know if it's my timing with the parries, but my weapon just was getting chewed out.
Yep.
And I didn't have enough time to replenish my weapon's durability. So I end up just having a broken weapon. And I just got so frustrated.
Can I say that weapon durability, I've only ever had one boss that has actually forced me to actually use the repairing, because none of the bosses break my weapon to that point. I find it fascinating because I know so many people like, you get to a certain point and then you have to sharpen your blade, and I'm just like, when? The only time I've had that was the ape boss, the swamp boss, where he's now, if he hits you enough times with the, what is that, the corrosion, then it corrodes your blade. But other than that, it's just never been an issue for me. Rarely do I have to sit there and go and sharpen my blade to get back into combat. But it's funny. So, like, you're talking about using the summon. I've used it once just to see what it looks like, and that was at the very beginning. But I've never used it since, because I think, and you're absolutely right, this is nothing against your choice of playing the game. I think it's a brilliant tactic, and I think it's a great mechanic that they've implemented in a game that doesn't actually have multiplayer, which is very impressive for them. But I have chosen to avoid using it because I use the mimic so much in Elden Ring that some part of me feels like I had an experience ripped away by just not learning the bosses and not learning the mechanics. So I felt like I personally cheaped myself out of an experience with Elden Ring that I'm trying to avoid with this, where I'm kind of like, all right, I want to see how much I can actually learn and how difficult this game is. And I'm recognizing that the issue that you're having is the same issue I have, that I wouldn't have had in Sekiro or even most of the Souls games, because they're a lot more forgiving in their blocking or their counter or their parry system. Whereas Lies of P is not. You are either on the right frame or you technically missed and you're now just blocking and chunking
Yep.
the damage. So, yeah, you are probably missing the timing by a split second. And I also don't know whether, because you've also got a slightly lower end PC compared to me, I don't know whether that's also affecting the performance from your latency with the controller, which is also something to keep in mind. Because that's another thing that developers forget, that depending on your rig and how well it performs, this was some of the issues that I actually had with DS3 when I finally got around to playing that with the old rig, when I was running the 1060 card.
Yep.
Because I was getting these performance hiccups and I felt like I wasn't getting the blocks. And then when I started playing it on my high-end PC, my newer PC, everything was fine. Because the performance is keeping up and there's a steady frame pacing where it's picking up what I'm doing with the controller. This is my big issue with these games that require pinpoint precision, because if the game isn't running really fucking smoothly, then it doesn't matter how accurate. Like, you can be really good with a drum beat, but if there is something from the hardware standpoint that's holding you back, game over. And I know this as someone who's played guitar and played using is it Rocksmith? I think it's Rocksmith. The learning utensil. It's the learning tool, or the Ubisoft game where you learn how to play guitar. And it's great, but even as someone who, and I found it to be a really great learning tool. And it actually got me to a more competent level of playing guitar. The problem was, it got me to a competent level where I started to recognize this game is failing to recognize the quicker keystrokes, because my timing's getting better, because I'm actually using a metronome. I'm actually practicing this stuff with a metronome. And then when I'm trying to play these specific notes in the game, it's not picking it up the way I'd be picking up me playing with, like, live, because there is unfortunate latency with the technology. And it's the same with gaming. So when you suddenly have a game that's requiring of you pinpoint precision, pressing a controller, and there is even a little bit of a delay between the controller and your PC, and then your PC suddenly adds more weight to how it's registering the actual controls, well, you just lost. It picks up and it goes, yeah, you missed. Or you lose the rhythm as well. And that's another thing that can happen, where it suddenly, the animations slow down. You don't recognize it, but it's slowed down enough that some part of your brain that's probably used to a 120 rhythm, and it suddenly changes to like 116, and you're like, wait, but why am I off all of a sudden? Gaming's fun, isn't it?
Isn't it
So
just?
much fun. Oh, love it. But yes, other than Lies of P, have you been playing anything else?
I've actually gone back. I haven't touched it since I was in Japan, but Sea of Stars, which is
the
like
role-playing
Chrono
game.
Trigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been going back through it because I played it while I was in Japan during the trips from Tokyo to Osaka. We caught the Shinkansen, which is a couple of hours, like 4-hour train ride.
Yep.
chucked it on, played it, and I haven't touched it since being
Okay.
back, and that's been over a year now. And I thought, fuck it, let's go. And yeah, just going through that, having a great time. I think I've got my 4th party member unlocked. So yeah.
How do you find the story compared to Chrono?
Oh. Oh.
I know that's a hard thing to compare, but
It's similar.
okay.
It reminds me more of Dragon Quest
Okay.
in story, because the two main characters are chosen people for this event that's going to happen.
Yes.
So it kind of feels like, oh, okay, you're the hero. Cool. And it's very fun. I like that it's very this sounds horrible, but I love that it's really depressing. Like the area that I'm in right now, it's cursed.
Yep.
And people are getting kidnapped. And I'm like, I love this. This is
Okay.
awesome.
Okay.
I don't want something fun and cheery. I want something to push me in an RPG. I want that feeling of, okay, what I'm doing is going to be hard. I want that cliche. And I feel that it's hard finding those cliches now.
I want to feel something, damn it. I want some morbidity to this. Let me feel my soul. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. We were watching
it's cute.
What is her name? Jennifer, is it Jennifer Lawrence from Hunger Games?
I love her. She's so good.
We were watching a movie with her and Robert Pattinson called Die My Love. And about 20 minutes in, I've said to Kate, my fucking God, I don't know if I was mentally ready for this film, because it's such it's dealing with postnatal depression, and it's very trippy with how the director has kind of set up shots to give you this sense of you don't know what's real and what's not.
Ooh.
You could always try Fear and Hunger. What's that? Oh, is that a game? Are you suggesting a game to Street Rat? Sorry. But yeah, really well done film, really emotionally heartbreaking. And the performances are just fucking on another level. Like, she is such an amazing actress. And Robert really shines. It's just, oh, man, I love him as Batman, but I want more, and I feel like he can give more provided the script gives him more. And seeing him in a film like this, I go, fuck, you're so good. Going from Twilight, where you were just a deadpan, good-looking character that was really there for eye candy more than anything for the teenagers, to, no, this is an actor, like, who's actually performing his heart and soul and is pulling all the emotional weight from the writing of the book or the screenplay. It's just, yeah. You got to give credit. And I know at the moment, I think it's got low reviews on IMDb and on some of the other, your Metacritics and whatnot. But it's just, it really is such a beautiful film. Very weird. Absolutely. If you're into more of the art house type stuff. But it's great. Rodney, yes. It's really cool. The story it tells is sad, depressing, and shockingly beautiful to experience. Yeah, it's... I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a few bits where you just watch and you kind of go, is she actually experiencing what we're seeing, or is that in her head? And then there are other bits where the director shows you stuff that's happening that you're there in her mind questioning things like she does. but then you're also questioning, like, she's an unreliable narrator. That's what it is. She's very much, in book terms, she's the unreliable narrator, but you're seeing it from the visual perspective. So, yeah, check it out if you're interested. Yeah, other than that, gaming wise, I've only really played a little bit more of KCD 1, which I've gotten through a bit more of the story. It's so good. It's really, I feel like I'm actually starting to get through a decent chunk of the content. What I thought was a lot of missions, I've actually managed to somehow, in the 70 hours of gameplay, I feel like I'm actually getting close. Yeah, I know, it's a lot, right? I feel like I'm actually getting close to finishing the meat of the game. But there's still so much of the main quest that I need to go through. Like, I did a major quest line where I had to help a town, a village, deal with a plague. And that was like, okay, go and investigate, talk to everyone, figure out what this plague is, then go back to another character in another town, speak to her, get her to help out, speak to the alchemist. And he's like, read this book, figure out, based on what you know about the plague, what it could potentially be that's affecting them, and then we need to make the right potion. And you literally read through the book, go through like all these historical, well, not historic, like fictional events that happen in the game world, or that potentially happened. Maybe they're real, I don't know. And you had to figure out, based on what other viruses that happened around that time, what the best kind of medicine would be. And so you're like trying to match for match symptoms in similar veins and go, I think it's this. And I had a suspicion and I needed to verify, because this is the kind of gamer that I am, right? I have no shame in this. I am more than happy to go on YouTube and go, I just need to clarify something. And I know it's cheating. Fine. Call me a fucking cheater. I don't care. I'm playing this game once. I'm probably not going to play a 70-hour or 100-hour game like this for a very long time, which saddens me, because I know that I would like to go through it again, at least for the main story, before 3 comes out. But I know I'm not going to have the time. I know I'm not going to commit that. So I wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision. And I did. And I clarified that. So it was like, okay, the town has been poisoned. Like, their water source has been poisoned. So here, you need to make this potion. And he gives you the actual potion. I need to go source out the ingredients, make the potion, don't fuck it up, and then quickly travel back to town. And also make a stop by at the local priest to give him a, what is that called? Essentially, one of the townspeople had his will written up. And he's like, here, I've written up the will for what happens if I happen to die. Could you give this to, the priest in this other town, just so that information's there? So obviously, because I'm already in the area, I hand it to the priest, then head back and basically help the whole town and cure everyone perfectly fine. So it was great. There was no issues, and I got the information because they had a target there that had some information on someone that we were looking for, and he was dying with the plague as well as all the other townspeople. So I had to help the town people before the, would you call him a mayor? I actually don't know. Like the caretaker of the actual village, to say, hey, I've helped the people. Now will you help me actually see this guy and speak to him? He's like, yeah, you can speak to him and see what information you can get out of him. So yeah, there's a lot of little moving parts to some of these missions. There was a battle sequence that I did where you had to go in and infiltrate. You literally had, I'm babbling here. You had 2 options. You could either infiltrate the base during the day or at night in order to get the intel that you needed, and then as well poison some of their food and burn their arrow stock. Or you could just ride through, get some of the brief information, and then go back and then just do the battle sequence. Now, KCD, Kingdom Come Deliverance. So Because Rodney's asking, sorry guys, on stream.
Uh,
Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so essentially, when you're breaching into the base, you can do it at night. The way it's designed is you're meant to actually have a specific. You need to get a cumin armor set, and you need to walk into the base with the guys kind of seeing you wearing this armor without having any physical interaction with them around the sides of the base. There's also something else that you need to do, which I realized that's what was fucking me up. But for whatever reason, so I got one of the guys out of the base. I killed him. I'd stolen the armor. I tried getting in through the front, but the guys just kept attacking me. So I essentially just ended up going through this whole base and wiping everyone out very slowly using the peach snapple.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of like, does this count as me wiping the base? Probably not. I think the combat still, when you actually do the actual war bit, you do actually have the proper encounter. But I'd essentially gone through, I'd poisoned as much of the food as I could, but I didn't have enough poison vials, and burnt all the arrow stashes that they had. Did the sequence, did the combat, and that was all fine. Everyone seemed to have survived. There was no real casualties or deaths, so successfully got through that. But I was reading online that it's a really finicky quest because if one character escapes through a certain encounter, then it doesn't matter whether you, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't matter if you steal the armor of the enemy. They're just always going to be aggressive with you. But the game doesn't really give you that kind of feedback in any way. So when you get to the base, it's not like they're saying, "Oi, hey, it's here." It's like, wait, but I'm wearing this armor. Shouldn't you not be recognizing me? Like, why are you recognizing me now when you haven't actually met me? Unless the other character that's gotten away is in the base and then he sees me, then that kind of mechanic I understand. So it was a little bit of a finicky moment, but the concept for that mission was actually really cool. And the fact that the game is technically designed for that is neat. So all in all, still loving it, still playing it. I've obviously had to kind of put that a bit to the side because I've been doing all the forums and everything for my new job, which I've got. Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, when's the official start date?
The 10th of March. So I've handed in my notice to work. I had a fun time with the team there, kind of chatting and crying and reminiscing and kind of saying my farewells and whatnot. And yeah, I don't actually have to go back. So I've extended my leave. And yeah, I'll be able to start on the 10th, nice and fresh after the public holiday, and learn the ropes.
That's
so
awesome.
Exciting. Yeah. I'm excited by something new and something fresh, but also, the anxiety of like, oh God, I hope I don't fuck up. It's driving me a bit bonkers. Like my brain just keeps going back and forth on like did I do the right thing? It's like, oh God. So yeah, should be fine. It should be fine. So
Absolutely.
getting all the paperwork done. Otherwise, the only other game that I briefly played or have been continuing playing is Styx, which now I'm encountering wizards. Fun.
Oh.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. This is the thing. The game eventually just steers you more and more into not being able to be aggressive with the enemies, which I'm already doing. Like I'm forcefully just going through the game without actually killing anyone. Because again, the game incentivizes you not to by giving you more points if you get through a whole level without killing anyone or being seen. So naturally, my brain's just like, well, you've got the quick save system. I will just power through as much of this without any interaction. It's not like Dishonored where there is a really interesting combat system, so it's not like you're really losing much on that. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of getting more. I'm getting closer to what I think is the main plot point, but I'm not there yet. I'm reaching that halfway, so still got a little bit more to go. That's kind of been my Steam Deck game that I kind of play for 45 minutes or an hour before bed type of experience. But yes, are there any other little games that you want to add before we maybe start some Baldur's Gate?
Let's see. My 3.7 hours of playing Nioh 2.
Yes. Please tell us about that.
Okay.
Can I just say, I didn't think you would actually give this game a try, and when you messaged me today saying, "Oh, so I played Nioh 2. Oh my god, it's good." I'm like, fuck you. You're joking me. God damn it. You're adding another game to, because that game actually has proper co-op.
Yes,
and I've tried it. I have tried it. It works surprisingly well.
So, I bought the game while it was on a deep sale, either through Instant Gaming or through Steam, one or the other.
You got the complete
whole package.
Nice.
Absolutely. So I've got everything.
Impulsive will fucking love you. He is obsessed with those games.
I've done the first mission. I'm going for, I guess, a magic build. Surprise, surprise. So I'm using the split staff. And the glaive, like the scythe glaive.
Oh, yep.
But I've learned, like, the game is meant to be played through multiple new game pluses. That's when you start getting more of the gear. So I was like, okay, you know what? These will be my main weapons, and my armor will just, at this current stage, just be armor. I'm weak as shit. So got through it.
Yep.
It took me a couple of tries on the very start of the first mission until a little advice came up and it's like, you don't have to fight every enemy you see.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Thanks again for letting me know. So I was like, okay, I'll just run past this guy. Turns out the end of that level was that same boss. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of tries because I couldn't figure out how to transform. And then the game told me how to. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm using again, it's magic focus. So I'm using the shark animal summon.
Yep.
And I ended up defeating it. And as soon as I finished it, I quit out of the game and I was like, fuck. I really enjoy this game.
And you want to keep playing, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it? It's good.
There's something that grabbed me and I was like, oh, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It's just fun, kinetic. And it's just because I've played the first one. I think I've played it on Epic because I think it was for free.
Yes.
So
they gave it away.
Yeah, quite a few years ago. But I played a few hours of it.
Yep.
But this felt like a new game altogether.
Yep.
And I don't think I'm going to be uninstalling it anytime soon because fuck me, is it fun.
Yep.
So I don't want to play too much because I do want to do co-op.
Look, if you want to go through it, by all means, enjoy it. But if you do want to save it for co-op, I'm also down for that. Because I only got through, I think, the first 3 missions with Jason. Maybe 4. So we didn't really do too much of it. But what I remember of it was it's hard, but it's challenging in a really fun way, and there's a lot of ways that you can play around with the systems. And they're just, it is a huge improvement from 1. And this is what's fun, is the fact that you bring this up, obviously around the time that 3 has just come out, And I'm hearing some. Oh, by the way, before I continue, Rodney has wanted to state that Black Myth Wukong has been his favorite boss rush type of game.
Oh, dude, Rodney, can I just say Black Myth Wukong is such a standout fucking game. I am so impressed with how they approached it. I still haven't technically finished the game because I'm up to the secret boss. But fuck, that whole game was so much fun.
I'm
That
waiting for a
was
sale.
such a good game.
I haven't actually played through it. Like, I've only ever played the first bit when I was at Jason's place. And I went, this is good. There's something about the game, though, that I don't like. I don't feel like I've got a lot of weight. I get that the character is meant to be fast, but I don't feel like his attacks have this sense of kinetic hit or power to it. So there's a lightness to the combat that I don't feel in some of these other Souls likes. That it's just
Funny you say that. Very funny.
But I acknowledge
Because-
visually it's fucking beautiful and it's a breathtaking
hands
game.
down.
So
But your point of not feeling weighty, did you play the prologue? Or did you go straight into the open world or the levels?
I didn't. But this was the thing. I only did the introduction. So I did like that first introduction boss battle,
the war,
and then the working your way up to the first boss, which is that tiger.
Yep.
In the forest, and that was it. That's all I really experienced. I've seen some gameplay of some sequence in the desert, but for the most part, I've no context of any other, like boss battle or some of the other encounters that you have or the areas that you go through. Rodney, I've beaten it.
Incredible.
I haven't beaten it either. I got to the desert and stopped because I had to go to AIT. Then haven't picked it up since because I've been so absorbed in BG3.
Oh,
Another BG fan. Yeah, this game
what a
is full on.
segue.
Yeah, I know. We should probably start it. But no, it's funny you bring up Nioh because 3's obviously out. And I've played the demo when it first came out on PlayStation months back. And if you think going from 1 to 2 is mechanical improvement, 2 to 3 is just as much of a jump.
Really?
Yes. And the big thing, on top of the fact that you now have bigger open zones, so it's almost like you're exploring these open worlds, these small bite-sized open worlds, as opposed to just, here's a linear progression to the boss. No, here's a really big zone that you're having to explore and working your way through, and you're enticed to explore and defeat as much as you can in the zones because they give you buffs towards your character, I think, for that area, unless it's carried on throughout the whole game, to then work your way up to the boss in the area. But on top of that, they've changed the system so you're not just building one kind of class, you're technically able to have two classes running at once. So you have the samurai, and then you flip into ninja mode.
Oh.
And each of them play differently. So your samurai plays the same way the base games have played for the last two games. But then your ninja mode changes it. So instead of it being focused on your three stances with your dodges and your blocks and working on timing your ki, so that you know, when you're doing the attacks, then you have like that quick recharge of your energy. The ninja mode is all about dodging. So you get bonus attack damage when you're behind the enemy, and you get bonus, I think, attack as well as some other bonuses when you dodge correctly at the right time. And then, of course, it's all about all the specials and all the magic abilities that you've got associated with that at the same time. So it's a really fun way of going. At any point in time, you can just switch on the go between these two classes and have a different play style. So you can focus on one, you can focus on the other, or you can switch between both. And you're kind of leveling them up at tandem with all the other upgrade trees that exist in 2 that are brought into 3. So it becomes even more advanced, and there's more things that you can customize and tweak to your liking and your specialization for the characters. It's insane. So
Jeez.
add that on top of what these guys tend to do, where usually in New Game Plus, that's when they start adding not just difficulty, but new enemy types or new movesets. So they really amp up the way the game plays. So your first playthrough is always, yep, here are the basic mechanics, here are the basic enemies. You get to New Game Plus, and now we're going to add all these monster types into, like, rearrange them and kind of make it a bit more challenging and make it more interesting for you, because you've already gone through the landscape, but we want to make this fun for you. So here you go, and we're going to add a few extra movesets to them, so now they can surprise you with new things, as well as gearing your character up like a Diablo-style game, which that gear system is insane in my head. I don't know why it has to be that way, but they've obviously, people connect with it. So
Yeah.
it's too much gear. In my head, it's too much. But I'm sure for someone out there, it's joyous. Oh my god, yes. Give me more loot.
I mean, the loot in 2 is insane.
Oh,
Already, I'm just picking up everything. Anything that is on the floor, I pick up.
Yep. Well, it's fun in 3 because now you're having to essentially spec your character twice, because you're specking your ninja character and you're specking your samurai character. Because they have very different gear requirements. So, lots of fun in the sun. Shall we jump into some BG3?
Yes.
Get that started.
Actually, oh my gosh. I should show you my Dark Urge character at the end.
If you want.
Once we finish this.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's... Yeah.
For all those who have stuck with us specifically on YouTube, there are 32 of you that are listening. Thank you for jumping in. So kind of you.
Oh, that's awesome.
And of course, anyone on Twitch, thank you so much, as per usual.
I'm very excited. It's my first time streaming on YouTube, and I hope it works.
How does it feel?
Good so far. I think everything's set up correctly.
Let's see. I just want to see something, because I'm never sure. This is the interesting thing. I don't ever feel like I'm getting as many people watching me on Twitch as I do. Yeah, so there's only one person. That might just be me watching myself on Twitch. Hi, me. Yeah. It's really weird. There's a lot more people willing to engage on YouTube, which is nice. Thank you so much.
I think YouTube is the preferred streaming
platform. Yeah, well, this is... So I've actually been thinking whether to jump onto Kick as a third. No, and this, you're not the only person that said this, where it seems like Twitch is slowly dying out, and there's people that are still using it, but it's not the same. And Kick, though it is kind of the Wild West and has encouraged a little bit more of the raunchy kind of content, it's not growing as much as what they were hoping.
No. Funnily enough, I applied for a job where Kick is. They're in Melbourne. They're on Collins Street.
No way!
Yeah. So I'm happy to share this story. I don't think it's bad or anyway. But I applied for a job for, I think it was just like an admin assistant role.
Yep.
And it was funny. They were like, "Oh, so what do you do in your free time?" I'm like, "Oh, so I stream, but I also am learning how to animate and draw. So outside of that, I'm doing this." And they're like, "Oh, do you stream on Kick?" And I'm like, "No, not yet, because I don't plan on streaming on Kick just because of what I've heard of the negativity that the community is." So I was like, no. Ironically enough, I didn't get the job. They told me I wanted to work too autonomously, which I thought, thank fuck I dodged a bullet, because I ain't gonna deal with micromanaging. I like to work. So
Oh, you're joking. So they would have been
um,
checking you and being on your back for everything, and
yeah.
that sucks.
That's okay.
Hmm.
I do have quite a few topics to discuss.
Do you now?
Mm.
Ooh, such as?
Sophie
really
Turner
want to
looks
play
really good as
this.
Lara.
You think so? Oh, Pathologic 3. Yeah. So Impulsive has just shown off that he's excited to play Pathologic 3. I think you mentioned you're a big fan of this series. And I've been hearing very good things about 3 since its recent release on 10th of Jan. Yes. No, you think so? I'll be honest, I'm not overly sold on that recent video that's floating about on the internet.
Her doing her own stunts?
Chat and Yap
That
Yap
one?
Factory is alive and well. Thanks. It wasn't a stunt. So there was a sequence I watched. I think it's on Twitter or something, or X. But it's just her walking through a forest in like the gear. And she didn't
Yep.
look like the character for me, like visually. And B, there was something about her that I'm like, I feel like you're struggling. And I feel like if this was actually Lara, she'd just be like, just a breeze through. Like it's an everyday thing. But it's too early to say because, of course, when you're cutting down generic footage like that, maybe they're just doing some tests. I don't know.
Correct.
It who knows?
We don't know what cut will be in the final, but I think she looks good. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we've got a fuck ton of Tomb Raider to look forward to for the next couple
In
of years at
general,
least.
my God, there's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so much, so much Tomb Raider.
Okay, so Witchbrook, I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
Kingdom Hearts, Nintendo Partner Direct.
okay. So, what do you want to start with?
Fuck it. Let's just do the podcast.
Yep. So don't worry about the game.
Fuck it. Yep. Fuck it.
All right.
Fuck it.
Cool.
Let's just talk about this. There's too many exciting things to talk about.
Also, all of Final Fantasy VII remakes are coming to Nintendo. Okay, all right. So I've got the list here.
June.
Let's go through. So this is what's fun. I'm not a massive Nintendo guy, but for the people that obviously haven't a Switch, love Nintendo, and that's all they play, I gotta admit, this showcase had so many fucking games. It was ridiculous. Ridiculous. So what do they got here? So from the top, they got Orbital's Paranormasight, The Mermaid's Curse, Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters, Tokyo Scramble, which I gotta admit, that looks pretty sick. Like a horror survival dealing with monsters and kaiju or fucking dinosaurs. Valheim, which now has a mount.
Mm-hmm.
Hollow Knight Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, eFootball Kickoff, The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, Super Bomberman Collection, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Pragmata, Two Rock Origins, which looks really neat, Kyoto Xanadu, Digimon Story Time Stranger, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok. Jesus Christ, these names are getting ridiculous. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, Arcade Archives 2 Rave Racer, Console Archives, which include Doraemon, Cool Border, Ninja Gaiden 2 The Dark Side of Chaos, Scott Pilgrim EX, Another Eden Begins, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, Reanimal, WWE 2K26, Star Trek Voyager, which looks like an interesting little Fallout style strategy kind of game, PGA Tour, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Concept Begins, Goat Simulator 3, the sequel to Goat Simulator, Shadow Tactics Blade of the Shogun, which refuses to die. That game just gets released on everything. Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn Edition, Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Village, Fallout 4 Anniversary, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. I don't think there's any games coming out for this thing. What the fuck?
I love that there's so many third-party teams that are bringing their games to the Switch. This is one of the most successful endeavors Nintendo has gone through, especially after the Wii U. This, holy shit, incredible. The fact that we have The Witcher 3 on the Switch 1. Insane. But there was a few games that I wanted to talk about from the Nintendo Direct because a lot of them were a bit fluff and I don't really care about.
That's fair. That is fair, but go on.
And it's funny because some of the ones that I don't care about are the ones that I'm talking about, but let's get into it. I'm going to start with Orbitals.
Yes. Oh my god, that. Go on. It's just, yep.
I'm really fucking excited.
Yep.
And I was thinking we can stream it.
How? I don't have a fucking Switch.
Your wife does.
She does. Okay, so I needed clarification to this because I did watch the ad and they pointed out that it's got the, what is that called?
Game share?
Game share. And it looked like they had the Switch 2 running to the Switch.
Correct.
Now, here's a question. Do I need to pay for the online subscription to have that working?
Good question.
That's... Look, not that I'm opposed, because I know that Nintendo doesn't charge a lot for it. So even if we do it for 1 or 2 months, that should be fine.
Yeah. And it's only $5 a month for online.
Yeah. So even like $10-15 just to try the game and play it, which we'd probably finish it in, I reckon, a month and a half of streaming.
Oh, easy.
So yes, that was what annoyed me. So I was watching it going, this is so good. I am fucking kicking Nintendo in the nutsack. Annoyed at the fact that they've made this an exclusive. But at the same time, praise be that they've actually had, like, they found something of this nature from a developer. And there's something about it that does feel a little bit, which is funny to say this, but it feels like a smaller B-grade team compared to what the guys who've been making It Takes Two and Split Fiction have done. And again, it's so hard to say that because those guys don't even have a massive budget. But there's something about their quality of games that they've reached now that feels like this game is mechanically not offering the same level of depth and detail. And you'll know what I mean when you actually play Split Fiction, because I think that takes like the next step as far as all the mini games and all the little things that you can do in that whole experience. It's just, yeah. Overall, it looks like so much fun. That's really the main crux of it.
Seeing the little bits of the puzzle elements, seeing how there's different, like one character's got fire and the other character can meld the metal and create a
Yes.
pathway.
Yes.
It looks fun and engaging. So I'm very excited for that. Very excited.
Yeah, the way the systems
Um,
play with each other is really it's a nice different change. So instead of it feeling like, oh, like Split Fiction and It Takes Two, where they had to create new game modes every
mhm.
chapter, kind of so so on in the game. This feels like no, you have your very specific tools, and it's about figuring out the synergy of how to use them and when to use them. So they found their own way of approaching that style of co-op, which is neat.
Mm.
With the animation style, it's like, oh Jesus
Oh,
fucking
love.
Christ. The
I'm
artwork.
sold.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. So yeah. Yeah. That looks good.
You know what I didn't think looked so good?
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 9.
You're not sold on it.
I thought they would. Okay. The gameplay looks solid,
Mm-hmm.
but the green herb is just a PNG and it looks so shoddy. You could see the white outline of some parts. Like it just, I think it just needs an update or two just to flesh it out. But because the direct is a PG rating, if you notice, Leon does not hit any of his shots to the zombies. He misses every shot.
God.
I thought that was really clever. I was like, wait, he didn't hit anything. And then the sniper, he missed the shot. And then I realized, oh, it's PG. No shit. They're not going to have a trailer that shows
Blood.
decapitation or
Yeah.
blood.
Not yet.
No, no.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to watching someone play Resident Evil 9 because I'm not going to play it. I'm not interested in those games. Give me Resident Evil 5. Then I'll be interested.
See, you are probably the only, like, there's not many people that I think enjoy or appreciate 5 for its brilliance for the time. And you're like the only person that I think gets it the same way I do. I recognize the fact that anyone going from 4 and the previous titles would be pissed off at 5, because it does kind of, the horror element takes a really big backstep and it becomes more of an action adventure game. But I love it for that. I love the campiness. I love the action adventure. I love the fact that it goes from you just kind of exploring and trying to escape from this African village to now you're skulking around in the swamp kind of areas, and then all of a sudden you're in like these Aztec ruins, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? So the absurdity of it is brilliant.
But the funny thing is, the DLC encapsulates the horror.
Yeah,
And
it
does it
does bring
so
it back.
well in co-op.
Yeah.
So it's not that they can't do it.
No, they just want. This was the thing that people forget, the fact that at that time, action games, co-op action games, became really successful because of the success of Halo and Gears, and then you had Army of Two, and then you had. I'm trying to think what else was there.
The
Payday?
Lego games.
Or the Lego. Well, yeah, there were all these like co-op action games that came out, because split screen was obviously a big deal. And then you had the online side, but people were just really sold on these cooperative action experiences. So naturally, Capcom went, well, let's get in on the bag and do that. It just didn't jerry with the hardcore fans.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Valheim looks surprisingly fantastic.
Yep.
I didn't realize it hit 1.0. I thought that game was dead, to be honest.
Yeah, it felt like that for a while. But you know what? It could very well be that it probably has for the developers been dead, and they've just decided, well, I think we've done everything we need to for this game, so let's just call it a day and move on to the next thing.
They need to make it 1.0.
Yeah, which I think is what they're working towards.
As of February 2nd, 5 years of Valheim.
Jesus Christ. And they're only up to 0.2. So what are they still wanting to add to it?
Who knows?
And like this recent patch, new content, new emote. They've got two new emotes, Vibe and Love You, a new build piece, which is Flower Garland and Fey Lights, new consumable, Frosted Sweetbread, new weapon, Early Axes, new hat, 2 new materials, Mysterious Axe Head, Curious Axe Head, which is for the axe, 3 new hairstyles, and added a radial menu for emotes. How is it taking them so long? Although this is neat. Improved performance on the Steam Deck, so improved graphic presets. Performance mode now reaches 60 FPS, optimized preset settings for battery life. So they've obviously been working their butts off to get it in a more optimized state, which I think is good. But yeah, it's just compared to what the team with Enshrouded has done. This is just, oh my god, heaps better. Heaps.
Yeah, the teaser drop for the next Enshrouded update is crazy. Do you know what it is?
No.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, sure.
It's the Sky Island.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Dude. Oh, that's sweet. Well, they've just released their update 13. So, yeah, they're sitting at 9.04. Fucking hell. This game. Just immaculate. Immaculate.
Now, Tokyo Scramble took me by surprise.
How so?
Because it's an interactive puzzle game where you're giving commands to a character to then perform. But then there's a cooperative side where multiple people can pitch in and tell the character what to do as well. So I'm really intrigued as to how this will play. Is it, in my head, I'm picturing how Twitch plays and you have everyone in chat telling the character what to do and then they'll perform it. That's how I'm imagining Tokyo Scramble to be like.
That's right. I'm in this area. Tokyo Scramble. Now, let me just have a look what that... I need a refresher. I've got the list here.
It's the dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. So you're right. There were menus on that. which had little arrows that, yes, you're right, it looked like there was some community interaction. The other thing that was fascinating, so that was the other thing, when you had up to 4 people, or I think you could have more, joining in and trying to play this game, you could have various people with various different controls to the characters. So, for instance, you'd have one person, say, controlling the camera, another person controlling the movement, another person controlling the actions. Or you can split it in different ways. So you can have one person have half of the camera controls, another person have the other half, and then someone else doing, say, just movement or an action. So they are trying to do something interesting. How it comes together is going to be fascinating.
Yep.
I think I missed it. Where is it? Tokyo Scramble. There it is. It looks interesting, though. I'll give him that. Tokyo Scramble.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah.
Was there anything else that caught your eyes?
Well, what didn't catch my eyes? Todd fucking Howard. So I get people like Bethesda and enjoy their games. I completely get it. I get it. I also have a studio that I love and people don't. I get it. Fallout 4, cool. Oblivion, cool. Indiana Jones, cool. Okay, so Fallout 4, my notes were okay. Indiana Jones looks solid, but just not sold on the game, even when launched.
Okay.
Oblivion, gameplay looks stuttery and not performing well.
Yeah, Oblivion's been having some issues. I don't know what it's like on the PC side, but I know there's still some patching that they should be focusing on releasing for that game, because apparently it still suffers from, you play it for a couple of hours and then you need to reset the game because the memory's filled up, which is just unacceptable. And especially for an old game that's been remastered in Unreal Engine. Like, you had to have grabbed the code and then put it into this whole new engine and made it work. And yet, you still couldn't get some of the bare-bone basic issues that probably existed and plagued this game on the older system. And I find that to be really disrespectful, considering how much you're charging for said purchase.
Yep.
I will say, I think it's still cool that they're releasing that, and especially like Fallout 4. The Fallout 4 thing's really just more in tandem with the show, more than anything. And it just
what about
gives...
the other Fallouts?
Well, they got to work on that. And remember, there's speculations that Fallout 3 is potentially getting a HD the way Oblivion got. So we're still waiting for that. 1 and 2, and this is what I find so funny, 1 and 2 were made by the original developers of Interplay. So no, we're probably not going to see that unless it's like a HD interpolation of that.
Right. What about New Vegas?
That would require...
Is that Obsidian?
Yes, and that would require Todd to not have such an ego about his franchise and keep it so close to his chest. Theoretically, if we're to speculate that he has such an ego. And there's never wanted Obsidian to make... Yeah, allegedly. And that he was the reason why we've never been able to get another Fallout game from Obsidian. But... interesting to point that out, considering the fact that Obsidian is now walking away from their Outer Worlds series. So I don't know if you heard about this news with them. Just a
Oh,
side note here.
yeah.
So because last year they released, what was it? Outer Worlds 2, Grounded 2,
too.
and what was that other game from the Pillars of Eternity? Avowed. They released Avowed at the start of the year. So they had 3
Yep.
games.
Mhm.
Avowed and Outer Worlds did not sell to what they were hoping for. They underperformed. Now, they want to continue with Avowed because they feel like there's something there that's worth exploring, and it is part of their Pillars franchise. So, yep, that might be worth delving into and spending some time. And they recognize that a lot of people did connect with the combat aspect of the game, just not so much with the story elements and some of the other mechanics that were underbaked because it was supposed to be an MMO or a multiplayer game that never came to be. So that might potentially get a sequel, potentially. And Outer Worlds 2 underperforming means that they've decided that franchise is now being put to rest. We're done. There's nothing else we can really do. We want to not have these games spend 6 years in the pipeline, because that's the other thing. All 6 games were running at the same time, around the 6-year mark, and they didn't plan on them all releasing at the same time, but they recognized that doing it all on the same year was a bad idea because it meant not just trying to get these games out, but also the support side of things after the fact. And that would have been a lot of effort on their part. So I think they're kind of going back to basics, and I'm wondering, theoretically, they'll probably still do multiple development. So they might obviously still work on multiple games. What I'm wondering, though, is whether they will decide to, say, do Avowed 2. Grounded's obviously going to get more further development because that's still in early access until it releases as 1.0. And then maybe they are the ones that have decided, can we actually do a Fallout game instead? So they might decide to release something of that ilk. We shall see.
Wasn't that what Outer Wilds was meant to be? Wasn't that meant to be the spiritual successor to New Vegas?
In their way, yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I love the first game. I haven't played the second one just because time and money.
Mhm.
But that first game really is a solid foundation of all their role-playing expertise come to life. The only thing that they just kind of fell apart on was the shooting mechanic side of things, which apparently 2 fixes and adds a lot of extra little tidbits and really improves on all the choice and consequence side of things. But unfortunately, I think because of some of the marketing around the game as it was releasing, I don't think it got as big of a push and a boost as what it could have. So between the really poor marketing run through IGN that they did for them, as well as the, hey, we're going to release, and this was on Microsoft's kind of faulting, but we're going to release this game at the American $80, so 110 for us, which they then backed out on and went, oh, no, sorry, we'll release it for 70. So that obviously shot them in the foot and probably just affected their pre-sales and their opportunities compared to what else probably came out around the same time. Outer Worlds 2, when did that come out? 29th of October. So yeah, you probably would have had a few other games around that time frame that more people would have been more interested in. I think Arc Raiders probably would have been one of them. Yeah, 30th of October. So everyone would have been playing Arc Raiders, and poor Outer Worlds would have just been lost in the dust. Which is a shame.
The reviews do say that it's a bit too steep for what you're playing.
Price-wise,
Yeah.
yeah. I guarantee you, this game goes on sale for like 25 or 40% off. People will pick it up and people will fucking love it and eat it up and go, oh my god, I can't wait for the sequel. And realize after the fact that, sorry, no sequel's coming because no one bought it day one. And the developer decided, well, we're not going to invest in a third game if no one's buying it day one. Because why would we? This is kind of this is one of the topics I kind of want to get into, because there's a few games coming out in March and I'm looking at how close they are to one other title and I'm like, you guys are fucking shooting yourselves in the foot if you think that you're going to have any success. If you push it out 1 month, or like not even a month, like a few weeks after, then you might have a better chance, because theoretically some people would have gotten over the fix of that other release. But not gonna happen.
What games are they?
I can go through that if you want.
Yeah, but I mean, the next two things that I was going to talk about was Witchbrook and Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, so there was nothing else from the Nintendo Direct that you were kind of wanting to touch on? Okay.
Everything else was just like,
it
cool.
Exists. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not like there was anything Nintendo major exclusive. So this was definitely a third party.
This was a partner. Yep. Partner direct.
Partner showcase.
Which I'm fine with.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I am just as excited for the partner directs than I am for the Nintendo directs.
Correct.
Because it's just showing the love that the console's getting from third parties. Absolutely happy with it. And I, for a very brief moment, wasn't really paying attention. I saw Disney characters and I'm like, oh my god, they're releasing Kingdom Hearts on the Switch too. And then it wasn't. It was just stupid Dreamlight Valley.
So the only other thing I wanted to just clarify with you, you have no interest in Indiana Jones.
It's tough. It's so expensive as a game. And the way it plays, I would rather wait for a steep sale.
Yeah.
Until I touch it.
Yep.
Because at this moment, $120 for Indiana Jones, fuck right off.
Yeah, I get it. I
would rather play a LucasArts game and play a point-and-click adventure Indiana Jones game. Fuck it. I'll put on Uncharted. Fuck it. I'll play Tomb Raider. But the trailer that they showed in the Partner Direct, it just didn't look polished.
That's fair. I didn't feel like but that's fair. Maybe because I have context for how the game plays and what it is.
True. That is true.
So
because you finished it. So
I have.
Yeah.
And I fucking loved it. I loved every minute of it. It's not without its faults, don't get me wrong. And there are certainly things that if they were to make a sequel, I would love for them to improve upon. But as an Indiana Jones experience and a new story within his mythos, fucking hell. I must admit, the idea that Todd Howard brought to this was actually solid. Without a shadow of a doubt, the way he sets it up, it's not something you even suspect. And when it all comes together and you get to the end and the whole reveal happens, you're like, fucking hell, the mystery of that was actually really fucking cool. Well played. Okay. So, yeah, I I would recommend it for anyone who's a massive Indiana Jones fan, considering, especially if you're someone who, after the first original 3 films, has felt that the writing and the adventure side of his journey has never really quite hit the height of Last Crusade. This gets it. I think this gets all the beats. It gets all the characters. It gets the kind of mystery of everything. It gets all the tomb raiding aspect and the archaeology side of things. It's yeah. I think it comes together really well, while still feeling like a fun little game that's not overly complicated. It doesn't take the stealth too seriously and just has fun with it.
I take it that you will be playing the DLC?
No, so this is my issue. I'm not paying full price for that DLC. I was happy to pay full price for the game because I knew that I was getting a substantially decent sized game, but not for the DLC. Not when. So what's it at?
30.
Yeah. For me, I will happily pay 15 for the DLC, not 30. 30 I'll put towards a brand new experience.
Yep.
Like this is my problem with how they price some of their games. They don't think about the fact, like, I gotta admit, so I made this point on stream with Liza P. Liza P's DLC, I honestly thought $40? This better be fucking substantial. And as I'm playing through it, I realize, oh shit, yes, it actually is. So I now am reflecting on the fact that my $40 has actually been well spent, because it feels like they've actually added a substantial amount of content, as much as what you have in the base game. So what I thought was going to be 4 or 5 major boss battles is actually a lot more than that. And I'm only at the start of that experience.
You're still at the start?
Of the DLC? Yeah. So there's
What?
So there is 5 acts. I've only just finished
Fucking
1.
Christ.
I've only just finished 1. And I've started into number 2.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and look, it could end up being a lot shorter than what I'm giving it credit. I could end up going through these next sequences much quicker than what the first sequence I went through was. But that first sequence was a meaty section of gameplay that almost feels like that was almost 2 or 3 chapters worth of what you'd get in the base game. So even if the next 4 chapters are short, I still feel like I got technically 7 or 8 chapters worth of gameplay. So for $40, yeah, it's fucking worth it.
I didn't realize it was that big. Jesus.
Yep.
Huge.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting up to the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll know what I mean when you get there. And this is just me checking online, and because I have this thing where as I'm playing through a game, I like to see where I'm progressing. I won't read anything about the chapters, but I'll just see, all right, what act am I in? What part of the story? How many have I kind of got left? So I have a gauge in my head of how much I've got left. And yeah, it's a substantially large game, even though I've died so many times. But yeah, for me to pay $20-$30 for Indiana Jones's one single area that apparently doesn't even add any new set pieces, no,
Oh.
no, thank you. Like
Oh,
it's puzzles. It's just puzzles, and that's fine. And I know that there's probably still voice work and some animation, but for the most part, I got what I needed from the base game. Anything extra is just, it's additory. It's not that important for the overall arc of the story. Which is unfortunate. Which it is unfortunate, because I was hoping that DLC was going to be something better. But yeah, for $30, I will... And I mean, even on Steam, it's getting, out of 393 people, it's mixed. So I guarantee you most people are sitting there going, it's not worth the $30. But if you are picking up the full package and it's on sale, I think it's worth it. So the thing that I wanted...
I'm waiting for a sale.
Yeah, and that's fine. So the thing that I wanted to point out. So there was recent gameplay of P.I. Mouse Detective, I think is what it's called. Mouse P.I.
I am so fucking excited.
Have you seen that recent gameplay from IGN?
I know quite a bit about the game.
Nice. So I knew that they had kind of open zones that you go through. Mm-hmm. It's obviously more of a linear game, so it's not like you're going through these hubs or anything, but the levels themselves are quite large, and there's quite a bit of exploration to it, which I was quite impressed. I hadn't seen much of the gameplay, so I didn't know how substantial that was. But suffice it to say, everything I've seen, I'm like, as a shooting game with this art style, this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I am concerned that it releasing right on the same day as Crimson Desert, that it's just going to be smothered and not even get any of its attention. And so I was looking at the general release date for March, because it's packed. Just from the start of March, you've, like, Scott Pilgrim's got maybe minimal hope, but realistically, when it's going to be compared to Marathon, everyone's going to be on Marathon's ass. That's just a reality.
Are they?
I reckon so. I reckon more than enough people want to check it out, want to, even if to check it out, to beat the shit out of it. And potentially, they might be surprised and go, oh, actually, this is not as bad as we thought. This might actually compete with Ark. Who's to say?
That is true.
But the reality
I'm actually really excited for Pokemon Pocopia.
Yeah,
I'm actually hyped for that shit.
So there you go. So Pokemon's probably going to do pretty well. Marathon's going to do pretty well. Scott Pilgrim, I doubt. Nevergrave, I have no idea. Fatal Frame 2. Now we're getting into the following week. So then we've got Fatal Frame 2, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, replaced, which I'm excited for, but I'm now wondering whether enough people are going to want to play that. And then you kind of get into your March 18th, which is Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, which is on Nintendo Switch 2.
Monster Hunter Stories 3?
Yep.
Holy shit. I didn't realize it was coming out in March. Fuck.
March 13th. But then you get to March 19th, and now you got Crimson Desert, Mouse P.I. for Hire, Dynasty Warrior 3. And then the following week, you start getting to Life is Strange, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Neopets,
which is a DLC.
Yeah.
Neopets.
Super Lucky's Tale again. So, but Crimson Desert, that's the one thing that, honestly, I'd probably say Mouse P.I. should really just move like a week or two later. And even at the start of April... Let me get in contact
with the producer. I'll tell him. Oh, God.
Could you? That'll be great.
Sure. Hey, can you just change the release of your game? I'm sure he'll love that.
Yeah. Just move it up by like a few weeks. I know it's pain, but seriously, just push
it's easy. Yeah, just tell your stakeholders that it'll be fine.
All the money that you're hoping. But like, let's be real here. how many people, apart from people who are serious about the game and maybe have a low end PC or don't want to spend the money, are going to choose Mouse P.I over Crimson Desert?
Well, you'll be surprised
I
because
could be. I'm
Mouse
very
P.I
curious.
looks very much like a Doom
Mm-hmm.
experience,
Yep.
and that is always an attractive thing. You go
Yes.
in, you get action, and you feel that visceral moment to moment. So I wouldn't be surprised, and especially with the success of Cuphead,
Mm-hmm.
that style of game, I think Mouse PI has a good chance. I'm very optimistic.
It can. My question is, and this is what I'm concerned at, because so far this game doesn't have a price. There's no price associated with
Yeah.
it. And so now I'm wondering, if they sell it for 30, I think it's got a good chance. If they sell it for like 40 or 60, now it's probably going to be a bit of a struggle for some people, where they're going to be like, is it really worth it for that much when I could just put that money towards Crimson Desert and have this really ginormous experience hacking and slashing my way through
Hold up.
hordes
Hold
of
up.
enemies and
Hold up. Wait. You're comparing a game that's either going to be 30, 40, or 60 to a game that's $110.
Yep.
And let alone, is someone's PC going to be able to run Crimson
I agree
Desert?
with you. I agree with you on that. But I'm
I
thinking
think
more
more people will be more attracted to a game that they would be able to play than they are for a game that is not going to run well on their PC.
on PC. I will agree with you. On console, now we're looking at a very different audience.
Don't forget, Mouse PI is also launching on one of the biggest consoles to have ever released. Crimson Desert is not. So
What are we talking
as
about here?
the Nintendo Switch 2.
Is it releasing on the same day though?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, PlayStation, Xbox. Yes, but considering there is a
Crimson,
decent fan base or a decent audience on PlayStation itself.
true.
Yeah, I'm
I
not.
I'm just being very optimistic just
I know.
because
I
I
know.
have a personal feeling towards Mouse PI and I
Yeah.
really want it to do well.
So do I. So do I. I would want nothing more than for this game to get its success.
I can't deny it. I'm so fucking excited for Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
I can't stream it. I'll have to play it off stream because good fucking luck. And you're going to see me playing it
Yeah.
at 1 frame per second. Well, actually, maybe I should just start streaming on YouTube.
Can I?
That's a
No.
discussion I need to have.
No. I got a better idea. I have a much better idea. Go get yourself a PlayStation, and then you
Oh,
can get an Elgato, and then just play the console version while you're streaming, and then your PC is free from all of that overhead. There you go. I've just
true.
saved you a whole bunch of money because you
Not
only have to
really. I'm
spend
spending 900.
900, not 2 or 3K upgrading your PC.
But
Problem
I love
solved.
my
So do I.
PC.
So do I.
Fuck Sony.
No, Sony's awesome. Join us. We're the devil.
No. Sony can go fuck themselves because they killed Jack and Dexter, Sly Cooper, Tomb Raider, Crash Bandicoot.
They didn't kill them.
Medieval.
They didn't kill them. The developers behind them decided, well, that's not really working, so let's do something else. That has microtransaction as in a multiplayer game, actually. Speaking of multiplayer, have you seen Horizon Hunter Gatherers gameplay trailer? Oh my
I
god.
saw it on my YouTube feed. I didn't even click it.
Oh,
What?
just give me the
Tell
next
me.
fucking Horizon game. It's the
But
only
do you
thing.
You complained about 2.
Okay. 2.
Do you really want to play a third one after you complained so badly about the
There
second?
is one mechanic that I hated in 2. Just one. 2 is actually a really good. Well, I could pick 2, but 1's kind of the major thing.
Yep.
2 is actually a really good game. All in all, it's a fantastic game with a really cool story and a really cool plot. And all the improved kind of mechanics and stuff that they add is neat. What I didn't like was the fact that there was one major component that the chances of it dropping from certain enemies was so low, and it was a major component you needed to upgrade every single time on every single weapon. And so, for me to now, unlike the original game where upgrading all your weapons and all your armor was, like, it still took time, but it was relatively this smooth process because the enemies would actually drop what you needed. This game goes, no, we're just going to give you like this 25% chance of something dropping. Now, if it was a resource that you only needed to use on a handful of things or on like the higher level stuff, that's fine. But when it's needed for every single tool and every single upgrade, I'm sorry, that becomes a common fucking item that I need. I need that to drop more consistently than fucking once every 4 or 5 times. And it became infuriating. And I just went, I can't actually play the game I want to, the way I want to, and just level everything up. And it's now teaching me that what I should have been doing all this time is focusing on one playstyle and only level that up. Otherwise, I'm having to grind for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours just to get one resource so I could level all the other stuff up. To then be able to switch between, do I want to have a stealth setup, or do I want a long range setup, or do I want more melee focused, or do I want this, or do I want that? That was the only other issue.
Sounds like they just wanted to make sure they had you spending more time playing the game.
Probably. But the game is already such a meaty experience, it never needed it. That was the other frustrating part. The game by itself is like 40, 50 hours trying to do all the side quests. And I just gave up because I went, you're trying to force me to do stuff here, and I've lost interest now because there's not a steady flow of content, and you're just trying to hammer in more stuff that's unnecessary, as opposed to just like 1 was perfect. 1 honestly had the perfect rhythm, and 2 just added all these extra elements that were interesting and fun and improved upon things while also adding more junk. And it was like, just why? It's unnecessary. And instead of improving on things like, hey, we're going to give you new melee tools to play with, no, it's still the same fucking spear. So the flow of the gameplay is exactly the same, with a few extra little bows or a few extra little traps that you can set, but all the traps actually felt weaker for me, at least with the kind of build that I initially had. So, and that was the other thing, that because I spec'd myself, I know that if I'd spent more time with the game, I probably would have had a better experience, but it felt like they wanted to make stealth more complicated and some of the trap systems more complicated. So unless you had very specific armor sets equipped, then you wouldn't get the maximum damage or the maximum capabilities from that playstyle. And unfortunately, I kind of ended up with more of a generic build, which meant that I didn't get the high numbered attacks that I could have been getting. So my stealth was never performing at the normal rate that I could in the first game, nor some of my trap abilities were as useful on some of the enemies. And even if I'm using the weaknesses that were designed for the dinosaurs that you're fighting, it still didn't feel like I was doing enough damage, or that it was breaking the armor, or that I was able to say, like, you could like the slingshots that you could hook the dinosaurs down to the ground was such a powerful tool in the first game that they went, oh, we're just nerfing this completely to the ground, so that when you use it against some of the bigger dinos, you only get a couple of seconds. You can do like 10 or 15 lines and attach it to the ground, but they will just kind of go ding, 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 boom, and just break out. So you don't even get the opportunity to go, let me like tie this fucker down and actually get him into a position where he's not constantly barraging and moving like a fucking retard, because of course they amp up the animation, so it suddenly becomes like a FromSoft game where I now need time to try and hit this small little fucking tiny weak spot that it's got with pinpoint precision, because of course the precision on your arrows is down to the pixel. So if they shift a little, you miss. You don't get the crit. So they, instead of making it this fun game like the original was, they actually made it harder, which is, that's fine, I guess, but also not fun because you made it too ridiculously hard, and then took away some of the other fun systems that, you know, made it more manageable. But no, it's fine because we've got the accessibility mode. So if it's too fast for you, you can slow it down for yourself. How about you just animate the fucking bosses so that they're a fun fight, not something that's constantly like jittery when it's moving. Anyway, probably more of a me problem than the game, but there was just minor things that annoyed me. And I think how I leveled up myself, I kind of threw myself into a corner where I would have had to have spent another 10 hours just to grind for the materials to get to a more manageable state. So I just kind of went, fuck this, I'm just powering through to the end of the story.
They really tried to make a Monster Hunter game.
They did, but they failed. Because Monster Hunter, I think, does a better job of... Monster Hunter does a great job of very much trying to iterate or trying to get you as a player to focus on, okay, pick your preferred playstyle, pick the weapon you like. Now focus on leveling that up. But here's the fun part about Monster Hunter. It does a better job of giving you, if you choose to hunt the monsters again and again to level up the other equipment, it does a better job of supplying you the resources. And what it doesn't do is have a lot of resources that are rinsed and repeated. So it's not like, hey, for you to level up for these tools, we're not going to have this one specific resource that you always need to have. No, we're going to give you new resources. So now you need to hunt something different to get those resources. As opposed to this, where this goes, yeah, you're going to have new resources based on the new enemy types that you have to find and hunt down. But we're also going to make it that you need core parts that only exist on like a handful of dinosaurs, and the chances of them dropping it is fucking slim. And it's not like there's a way to increase that. Or there's no way for me to go, all right, can I take this dino out without doing damage to that one component? At least nothing that I noticed. So, yeah. No, they failed in making an actual Monster Hunter, because unlike Monster Hunter, it has various weapons and actual various playstyles, whereas this kind of has one playstyle with 3 variations. Everything is long range, but you're either going to be really good at sneaking, which only works for certain parts of the game. So when you're hunting, it's great. But once you get into the action, sneaking's done. So you need to do a lot of damage all at once. Or you're really good at trapping. Or you're really good at long range attacks. or you're really good with the elemental stuff. That's it. That's your variation. But it's not like, hey, we're going to give you various different types of weapons for you to use. Hey, you can use a sword and a shield, or you can use a large sword, or you can use a spear, or you can use a bow, or you can use, like, it's just, the spear attacks are the spear attacks. They're basic combos. There's nothing special about them. With a flurry of like hey, you build up this unique special so then you can charge the enemy with like a zap attack. That's the only thing they added for melee combat.
Ooh,
Which is like,
groundbreaking.
yeah, exactly. So going back to this multiplayer game, it seems to be fixing a lot of those issues by adding new weapon classes, actual different classes with various playstyles. So I think all of that's cool. But I don't care about the other general parts of the game, because why don't you just incorporate that into your third game and then just have the multiplayer element attached to it? No. Forget about that. We're going to make you wait for the third game while we're figuring out where we're taking the story. So here's a multiplayer game where we can theoretically, possibly, maybe make money off you. But we're not going to spend the time or the money to maybe flesh it out to the same level as what the Monster Hunter guys have done with Monster Hunter. So, I don't know. I have my doubts. Could go either way. I think the universe is cool, and I think there's potentially maybe some ability for there to be interest in the world building. So I think separating it from Aloy is handy. But I think anyone that's a fan of this series is just wanting the conclusion to Aloy's journey. Like, give us the Mass Effect 3 ending. Well, not necessarily that specific ending, but give us the third game. Let's conclude it. Then go off and make your little spin-offs and do whatever you want with the world. But right now, it's kind of like, we don't need you to treat this like fucking Assassin's Creed, where it's going to take you 3 expansions and some extra bullshit content before we finally get the third game that half-asses the ending. Just give us the fucking ending. So I have my concerns about that one. Which is a shame. Now, Witchbrook you wanted to talk about. Has there been news?
That's the issue. There are no fucking news. I think that game is dead.
Really?
I don't think it's coming out.
That's a shame.
I'm convinced that it's dead. It has taken such a long time that I just don't think it actually exists.
I don't know. It seems like it's still being worked on. The last dev was 2025, December 16. They're working on some festival type stuff.
Mind you, this game was meant to launch last year.
Yes, but considering it's probably a very small team of people, and they probably don't have anywhere near the funds that other smaller teams have, I would say they are just making sure that there are enough features in the game before it releases. So, who knows?
Or I'm just going to take you back. You're saying it's a small team?
Yep.
Let me take you back to the year 2016 when it was announced. 2016.
Mm-hmm.
10 fucking years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a long time.
That is a joke.
Well, to be fair, Stardew Valley took a decent amount of time. I mean, that did come out into early access, so at least it kind of came out. But I don't know. Maybe they're wanting to get it to a more substantial position. You could be right.
I mean,
See,
but
yeah.
we're comparing a game that one person made.
Mm-hmm.
One person.
Yep.
But this is a team. I don't have, especially with how many games are being cancelled close to their release
Yeah, I
or
know.
just projects not being committed to. I don't think Witchbrook is going to ever come out.
See, the what is that called? Let me see if I can pull it up. The one that I'm really concerned about is, I think it's Hearthforth. Yeah, Hearthforth Elitia. This is a game that I honestly haven't seen anything for so long. When was the last? I didn't even think there was any developer news. When did this even come out? This trailer, fucking hell. But yeah, this is one of those platformers that was supposed to come out years ago. Same deal. I think it was probably close to 12 years by this point.
Jesus.
And this is still not out. So I think there are probably a handful of these developers that are, I guarantee you they've got another job on the side that they're doing that keeps their income going. And maybe they're struggling in the current economic crisis. I don't know. And so, unfortunately, these little side projects that they're working on that are their passion projects are just taking longer because they're only getting a couple of hours a day if they're lucky to work on it versus what a regular developer would spend 10, 12 hours.
True.
That's the real question here is, do these people have the funds to sit there and just work on their own passion project like the guy doing the Chocolatier? I think that's what it's called.
Concerned Ape.
Yeah. Or like the guys who did Hollow Knight or Silksong. If you've got that amount, those kind of funds that allow you to just sit back and spend 6 years developing a game without any interruptions, no issues. But when you don't have any of the funds and it's only enough funds to maybe pay an artist or pay for marketing or pay for publishing, then you save that money for those purposes and then you work on the damn project by yourself or with maybe another person for fuck all. And then you also got to wonder, as they're developing, what levels of feature creep do they get into where as they're, because I remember hearing this from the guy that released Stardew Valley. When he was working on it, he kept reiterating some of the artwork because his art was improving. So then he'd go back through his old work and go, oh, I can improve that. I can improve this. I can add this. I can tweak that. And so now the development gets prolonged because you're starting to reiterate your work to improve it, to add more to it. This game already, like Hearthforth Elysia looks, this like gameplay looks so much better than what it initially looked at like years ago. Like it looked a hell of a, it still looks gorgeous, but it looked more basic. So they're trying to obviously add more depth and detail and more artwork and more, maybe more mechanics to it. And it's probably the same with Witchbrook, where small team, not a lot of money, have to do it on the side as a side project. It's just taking a lot longer because of the fact that they just don't have the focused time to just work on that one thing. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But we'll see. It's either going to release or it's not. It sucks. It fucking sucks.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
What are you
There's
looking at?
17 people that are working on Witchbrook.
How many?
17.
Okay.
Get your fucking asses into gear, guys.
No! Never!
I'm just excited. That's all.
I know.
I'm just excited to play it.
I get it.
So many people are. I just want to be a fucking wizard.
Nah.
Let me cast magic.
Last updated November 29.
There's no such thing as magic.
Man, you're waiting for that, right? I'm waiting for, what is that fucking game called? That I feel like this game's dead in the water, and it pains me to say that. Little Devil Inside.
Little Devil Inside?
Yep. I have been wanting this game. Full gameplay demo, 37 minutes, 4K on the 22nd of Jan. There must be something recent.
There's something in the waters.
Maybe. But
I remember this game.
This game I have been waiting for so long, and it's just been nothing. Absolutely nothing.
This was announced 2 or 3 years ago?
A little bit more than that.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. This was announced, I think, before the PlayStation 5 launched.
No way. We're already... Well, actually, I can't say we're halfway through the PS5's lifetime because they're extending it.
Little Devil Inside was originally revealed via a 2015 Kickstarter campaign with significant re-reveal during the 2020 PlayStation Showcase that highlighted its unique minimalist art style.
Oh, okay.
So, you're complaining about Witchbrook. This is 2015. That's 11 years now. Now, I know that this developer has had issues with funding. He has stated that publicly. But, man, I want this out. I really do want something like this out. This just looks like the fun indie game with such a personality, and this may never come out. He could have spent so much time on this, and it may never see the light of day. And that's just something that we would have to accept.
This is the problem with releasing or announcing a game far too early. Looking at you, Bethesda.
You're talking about the next Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, they recognize that.
Don't announce a game early. Don't fucking do it.
Yet, they want to get people excited. They want to let people know, hey, we're working on it. It's something that's in the pipeline.
I remember when Elder Scrolls 6 was announced and it just came out for my 90th birthday. Yes. Thank you, Todd Howard. Thank you.
You
are welcome.
Hey. What about the copium that people have towards Bloodborne and Half-Life 3. Like, come on.
Okay, but Bloodborne is out. Like that game exists.
Yeah, but Bloodborne
Half-Life
2.
3.
There's gonna be a sequel. They're gonna re-release it.
Oh.
There's gonna be a remaster. I swear, they're making. It's coming out. They're bringing out a remaster. No, sorry guys, it's not happening.
No.
FromSoft
That game is done.
is working
It
on
is what it
new
is.
games, new titles. This is actually.
I'm actually surprised we didn't see any of the Duskborn footage in the partner or Elden Ring.
Yeah, that tells me that there's something that they are trying to nail down before they show it off. But I will say that when they do, it's going to be a very close release date. So I reckon it'll be trailer followed by 6 months and the game's out.
I think less.
But what
3
if
months.
the other issue is also the big fucking ticket card that still hasn't even got a fucking release date? I mean, it's got a
I don't think it's coming out this year.
Well, you don't
think it's going to get delayed again.
You reckon? Jesus.
Yep.
Can you imagine how many people are going to be so fucking pissed off if it gets
I don't
delayed
think it's coming out this year.
They gotta
I just don't think it will.
They gotta shit or get off the pot, man. That thing's gotta come out.
It will, but not this year. I think it's a 2027 release, not this year.
Damn. Can you imagine how many developers will get really shitty? They're already holding their fucking breath on when should we release our fucking big titles. And Rockstar is like, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I just don't think it's at the level they want it at. I don't have any insider information about this or anything. But my personal
gut feeling,
my instinct is that the game is not ready for this year. It's meant to come out last year.
Investors are going to be fucking flipping it. They really are.
Are they? Because that
so.
game's still going to make them money.
Well, yes, it will.
No matter what, they're going to get money. They've already got your money. Not mine.
Rockstar is in such a unique position because of the amount of money that they made from 4 really just put them in a financially strong position. But you gotta wonder how much fucking money they've already sunk into this, that they would be hoping and praying that it's going to make the same amount, if not more. Because if it makes Red Dead amounts, they're going to be shooting themselves in the foot. I personally think. They are banking on this to make the same amount of money that 5 offered. 5? Yeah, 5. Not 4. But, yeah, we'll see.
Who knows? Maybe GTA 5 will come out on the Nintendo Switch too before GTA 6 comes out.
See, that's the other speculation. What if they're making sure the delay is not just from a polishing standpoint, but also making sure that they've got what they need to maybe release it on the Nintendo? That'll be a fun announcement.
It's not even getting a PC release.
Nope. Unless they are working on a PC simultaneous release. I don't know.
Nah.
Don't think so either. I don't think so either. Fucking hell. Did you see the Pokemon Winds and Waves, sorry, photos that came out, that surfaced?
Oh, Generation 10. I did. So I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, obvious reasons. The anesthetic wore off my face, so I woke up.
Oh, I feel where my teeth were.
Oh, this is what it feels like to have stitches in your mouth. Gross.
Yummy.
I've seen the beta photos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually really fucking excited. We're going underwater again, and we haven't done that since the Game Boy Advance games. So, yeah, fuck yeah, give me underwater. Fuck yes.
It does look good. Like, it's
There's a
still very
huge
low
city. There's
polygon.
cars. Yeah.
But
They're not going to change that.
you reckon that's gonna? No, that's not how it's gonna look.
All their games are low poly. All of them.
That's awful.
That's just their aesthetic.
No, don't. Oh god, this. Yeah. All right. Here's another awfully looking Pokemon game.
I could be proven wrong. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised and go, "Holy shit, this is top quality."
Oh man,
it looks good. I don't think it's releasing this year though.
No, I don't think so either. But I just found it was just nice to see, I guess, the type of landscapes that they had without any weird kind of, I don't know, the last few games have just been weird with some of their animation, except the recent one that they had, which I know was just one city, but it just looks more like a traditional kind of Pokemon game. Impulsive says, "What about my Onimusha? Why won't they release it?" Well, because it's too good of a game and they don't want you playing any more ninja games. You're going to be playing Nioh 3 at some stage, so shut the front door and enjoy what you've got. Actually, Impulsive made a really fun point to me on Wednesday night, where he said he's not going to go buy Nioh 3 until they release all the DLC, which for me is basically don't buy the game now, wait for the complete edition. Because they will always have a complete edition.
Impulsive, I've started playing Nioh 2.
Bro, I'm 11 hours into Nioh 2. It is going to be a while, a very long while. So Street Rat's just started.
I finished the first mission.
He's loving it. Oh, we might have another stream with a different game if Street Rat can get his PC running.
I think I'm going to come to the realization that I'm not going to stream on Twitch and I'm going to stream just on YouTube.
Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get more people that way, I don't see an issue with that. I'm trying to push myself in building what I'm calling a TV show. Yep.
And it's going to be on YouTube. So I should just commit to stream on there. So I've got my VODs, but I've also got the show that I want to make.
Yep.
I cannot wait until you fight the second boss. Boy, oh boy, he makes Liza P. Swamp Boss like a joke. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Why Impulsive?
But what about my Twitch?
Oh, so true. I do love your emotes. How are you going to use Pot of Greed?
Oh, God. Yep. And Fool's Popcorn.
Ass corn.
Yep. Well, at least until Street Rat can get his PC sorted or figure out the streaming side of the equation.
Yeah. I mean, granted, today it took me, 15 minutes or so? As soon as you joined the call for Discord before we even went live, I was setting it up. So my settings could be completely fucked.
Play around with them. See if you can get it working so it's not so resource intensive.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it would be handy if you can do both.
I would like to do both. I like having the two channels because one is purely streaming and one is more what I want to focus on entertainment.
Yep.
But this was a good test.
Hmm.
So I'm actually really happy that I got it testing.
Good.
I've done it. But I'm just going to bring everyone's attention to. We'll get back to Nioh conversation, but I just want to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Because I've got several tattoos of Kingdom Hearts on me, so I'm a big fan. Kingdom Hearts Relux, Q1 or 2 of 2027. Kingdom Hearts 4 is Q4 2027, allegedly. Jesus. Kingdom Hearts Relux is a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake. Game being made by the Crisis Core Reunion team.
Fuck off. No.
They are removing Deep Jungle, which is Tarzan, and replacing it with the Jungle Book. This is due to the rights.
Oh, no.
Jungle Book was originally meant to be in Birth by Sleep.
No, don't. None of this is true. You're lying to me. This is all bullshit.
They are adding extra areas to Traverse Town, which is the starting world, and Halloween Town, Nightmare Before Christmas. They are going to make Riku playable, similar to Chain of Memories, where you finish the game, then you unlock Riku. Kate Sith from Final Fantasy is being introduced and is with Riku. There is a new song, Alteration of Simple and Clean. Game was switched to timed exclusive, now delayed for 2027 for 25th anniversary and multi-platform. Now, I'm just going to say...
inspired by the Jungle Book would finally appear, Traverse Town, gain new areas, fucking hell, and most excitingly, long-requested fan feature would be implementing Riku would become a playable. Holy fuck.
Are you just reading what I've read?
I wrote notes.
I
know, but I didn't read. No, I'm sorry.
Joking.
I'm fine.
I'm teasing. It's fine.
You're an asshole. I'm like, there is no way you're fucking right about that. Wow.
Take this with the tiniest grain of salt because I refuse to think that they would release Kingdom Hearts 4 anywhere near Final Fantasy 7-3. I'm sorry. Square Enix is dick deep with Cloud that they're not going to have Kingdom Hearts anywhere near a release. 2 Kingdom Hearts games, a remake of 1, and let alone 4. Sorry. Remake 3 is taking priority for Square Enix. There is no way that they're going to pull focus away from their biggest trilogy. No fucking way. I refuse to believe that. As much as I would rather Kingdom Hearts come out than Final Fantasy, I know, I said it. It's just not happening. They're putting everything into Final Fantasy. Kingdom Hearts isn't coming out for another 2 to 5 years. Easily.
I would say they want... The reality is I think they want that project done so that they can move on to whatever the next potential project is.
And it will be Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. That would be the next project after Final Fantasy 7.
Or something else entirely.
Or 17.
Yeah, because that's probably in the books.
100% it is. After the success of 16 and that game is incredible for what it did.
Yeah, absolutely.
17 is absolutely in the books, but next year is the 25th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts. Could there be something? Sure. Granted, they cancelled the mobile game, Missing Link. So who's to say that we would get anything of a game? What if we get, here's a book to commemorate the 25 years cool. I've already got the Ultimania when I went to Japan. But anyways, that is.
Which cuts you to time constraints.
I just can't. I'm not on board with this leak, and I just there's just too many things that not okay. I don't want to come across like, oh, I've got all the fucking answers in this industry, or sound overly confident in what a huge corporation like Square Enix is doing. But their marketing has been so focused on Final Fantasy VII because that is their big project.
Yep.
4 fucking games. I'm including Crisis Core because that is integral to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, what are they going to do with Advent Children? Are they going to include that in part 3, or are they going to make a DLC? Are they going to make a standalone game? Are they going to do Dirge of Cerberus?
I don't even think they. No.
Valentine.
No.
Like,
yeah.
How much of 7 are they going to bring out? Because this is the Final Fantasy game that they want. It's out of all their Final Fantasies, this is their biggest.
I think it's more the fact. So, first off, it's the one game in the series that has had the biggest cultural relevance. Absolutely. The moment that game came out, there were people that never got into anime or got into role-playing games that played it, that gave it a chance, that fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
That game put that studio on the map to a massive degree. And so for them to be remaking it and finally coming to a conclusion, I know it probably doesn't have the same sales as what they would like in their theoretical heads compared to how much they've been spending on this fucking game.
I think they've been making their money. Oh,
I'm sure they have. Otherwise they wouldn't have even continued this whole endeavor. We would have gotten one game and that would have been the end of it.
True.
So, but I think you're right. I think this is a far more important project for them than Kingdom Hearts is. Are they going to extend it past the original Final Fantasy VII storyline? Not a chance. I don't think they're going to waste their time with Dirge of Cerberus or Advent Children, which, yes, had its day in the sun. Yes, probably entertained some people. But I think for the most part, nobody gave a shit.
You say that. Did you give a shit about Intermission?
I never played Intermission. You got to remember, I haven't...
You haven't played any of 7?
I've played some of 7. I haven't finished it.
Oh, not OG, Rebirth. The remakes.
Yeah.
So you haven't played any of the remakes?
No, so again, I started the remake, Rebirth. No, is it remake?
Yeah,
it's
remake. Rebirth is the first one.
Yeah, so remake.
Rebirth is second. Yeah,
correct. Haven't touched Rebirth because I haven't finished remake. And remake, I only got up to... Where did I get up to? Yeah, very good. No. I hadn't even gotten to the Dom. Or did I? Maybe I did. Maybe I did go.
Dom's halfway?
Yeah, maybe just past that. I think I got past
Impulsive would know this.
But suffice it to say, I didn't finish it. I kind of... The game just broke me a little mentally because of its systems. And then I got distracted by something. So I never actually got to the end of it.
My only real criticism towards Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth and its associated games, there's one system in the Final Fantasy series that I wish they would implement in every game, and that's the Gambit system from Final Fantasy XII, which I still stand by is the best Final Fantasy game. And it will be the next
Yes.
game that I start streaming after I finish Lies of P. I will be playing it
It's
on the PC.
This is the problem. It's a good system. I'm not disputing that. The problem is it's a bad system for majority of
No.
people.
Can I just say, you are automatically assigning specific things for your party to do. So your healer can automatically heal you if your health is below 30%.
Wait,
So you don't have to go, oh, I need to heal. Wait, Aerith, heal. Oh, I need to change. No, I need to get ATB charge. Oh, no. The Gambit system allows you to set into systems and motions for your party to do what you need to. Oh, this enemy is weak to lightning. Sweet. My spellcaster will cast lightning on this because they know that they are weak to lightning. It
But you
is
don't even need a
such an
gambit
incredible system.
I
Well,
don't even
I'm
think
just
you need a
calling it a
gambit
Gambit system because that's like the mechanics of it.
No, but
Call it whatever the fuck you want.
No, but what I'm trying to get at is, wouldn't it be cool if that was just an implemented feature that as the characters level up, they now have competencies where you can just tell them to do stuff like that? And the AI just automatically does what it needs to. My biggest issue with Remake was, why, if I'm using one character and the other two are doing their thing, why don't they continue to accumulate the same level of special when I'm not using them? That's what drove me nuts. Because I want to focus on playing. So, like, I'm playing as Cloud. Yeah. But for me to build up the special for Barret or for Tifa, I need to use them. They will slowly build it up, but it's so slow that it's not worth your fucking time. So but it's like it's
later down the track of the game, you get materia that then increases it.
Yes, so this is
the thing. And
it's
so stupid. I completely agree with you. And I have that same issue with Rebirth. The exact same thing, because my core team is Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Tifa being my main primary character that I always play as because she fucking hits hard, and I use her. Cloud and Aerith will heal when I need to, and Aerith will use magic when she needs to, but Cloud will then become an attacker. That's how I've set up their materias.
Yep.
But I'm just going to go back to Final Fantasy 12. If I was able to assign materias to Aerith that she has, okay, you can cast these magics and you have this summon. I can then give you the Gambit system or whatever, associate specific criteria that needs to be met for you to cast things, would make the game so much more intuitive, because then you're going, okay, Aerith is her own character right now. I can change to her and play as her, or I can play as Tifa, do what I need to. Aerith is knowingly, okay, this enemy is weak to ice. She's going to cast either Blizzard, Blizzara, Blizzaga, whatever modes. And then Cloud can be awesome. As soon as Aerith is low on health at 30% or 20%, then he casts Cura on her so that she gets healed. Or, hey, Aerith, your MP's at 20. I want you to pop an ether when you've reached 20 MP. Systems like that would make it so much more intuitive and a lot more interactive, because now you're playing a dance with everyone.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I've recently did a couple of side missions in Rebirth because I want to not 100% the game, but I want to do all of the side missions.
Yeah, you want to experience everything.
Oh, the side missions just add so fucking much that I just, the amount of work they've put into it, I want to experience it. And it was the Gonganga region. Gongaga? whatever, wherever Zach was from. And I had to go into the area, the wild area, and go up to a tower and look at suspicious things and go to these areas. I'm fighting these monsters, and I had to keep switching between and breaking the flow of my own gameplay. And
Yep.
I'm probably playing it wrong. Because if I watch someone who, oh, fuck, sorry, give me a sec.
Your mouth. Yep. Don't get your wisdom teeth cut out. Shelf
Not all four.
Life. Hola. How you doing?
Hola, Shelf Life. ¿Cómo estás? I'm sure that there's some pro video on YouTube of someone that's absolutely dominating.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many characters that are still in the fight, because it's not just the three that are fighting in the area of the fight. You've got the other party members on the outer rim
Yep.
also fighting. So Barrett will shoot and he's not in the party. You've got Kate Sith, who's going to be casting his range attack. So there is a chance to include, and I really hope they do it for the third part, where you have this gambit system to tell people, okay, I don't have to focus on worrying about so many things, or I need to worry about so many things. The ATB bar is dated, and I wish they would get rid of it. Just make it equal. It's so slow for a non-playable character to do anything. You have to change to then play them, to then change back for them to do something. Like I have Aerith do auto heal, fuck, what's the materia? It's a materia that links, and I've linked it with Cure.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to go to Aerith, make sure she attacks so that her ATB charges up faster, to then switch back to another character for her to then be able to do anything.
Yep.
She doesn't auto use items, which I find frustrating, because then I'm then wasting my time going, okay, well, do I use Tifa's ATB charge to then use an item when I'm trying to do the most amount of DPS on this enemy and stagger them? It just, that's why I love Final Fantasy 12 so fucking much. And it plays like an MMO, and I hate that it's not co-op, and I wish it was.
Yeah,
but
there's
Final Fantasy 7 is great.
No, that's my problem. I love it. I think the work, the time, the effort, everything they put into this game is amazing. And I get what they're trying to do with the systems, but it gets in the way of me just having fun. And it's like you're trying to you're trying to have your cake and eat it too kind of mindset, by sitting there going, well, we wanted to sort of have an RPG element, but it needs to be an action game. Okay, but at no point when I'm playing Kingdom Hearts do I have to worry about, switching to Goofy or to fucking Donald just so they can do one of their fucking attacks. They just do it. Yep. With some presets so that I can say, hey, don't fucking use your items. That's it. So if you want me to switch to other characters, make me switch because I want to play or have that focused character as the one I want to play as. Maybe I want to be the long distance character and make decisions on the fly from a distance. Or maybe I want to be in the midst of the battle, blocking and defending. But this is the problem. You're then having to worry about switching from character to character so you can build a stat, so then you can use items or use specials or use whatever the attacks are, which is where you do most of your damage or where you do some of your defensive stuff. So it is, I get what they're trying to do with the pick and choose, but it just becomes this annoying, convoluted having to switch and change for a split second to go, okay, I built up enough, so now I can go use that attack, or I can save it and wait to use it at the optimal point, which is maybe what they're trying to do, but it just, for my brain, I just kind of go, this is just, it loses some of that fun.
Yeah.
So, but that's not to say that it's not a brilliant title.
Oh, the
And I
game is
know that the
great.
sequel is fucking immaculate, but I ain't touching it until I play the fucking first game. Or finish the
My
first game, because...
God, the second game fucking delivers.
Yeah, I
It
bet.
honestly just it doesn't stop giving you. It's like, are you having fun? Well, here's more fun. Oh, you're still having fun. Here's even more fun. And it's like, okay,
Keep
I'm
going!
spoiled.
Yeah.
I'm honestly where everyone in the gaming industry, anyone who plays video games, if you play Final Fantasy Rebirth and even Remake, you're being spoiled. It really is a love letter. Granted, if you've played the original and you then play the remake and Rebirth, I get it. You're going to have contentions between the differences in story. Rebirth kind of touches upon why there's differences. I still have yet to find the black materia, which, fuck me. It's such a love letter, and you can tell that Nomura really has put so much love into making this game. It feels like you're playing Advent Children. You're fucking flying in the
Yeah.
air doing cool
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's awesome. The team combo attacks, the synergies between your characters. There's a fucking relationship simulator between the characters that, hey, if you focus on one character and build up their relationship, that character will then appear in one particular part of the story. They come with you. I don't have a lot of negativity towards Final Fantasy. It's just I think that they could really benefit from the systems that 12 had, even Kingdom Hearts had. Because you're right. You are so fucking right. Donald, Goofy, your Disney characters, they all have AI systems built in where they'll just fucking attack. They'll
Yep.
do what they need to. If you go into their menus, you can say, okay, Aladdin, yep, you've got these abilities. I want you to use this particular one sparingly, this one a bit more, and I don't want you to have that ability. And Donald, I want you to focus on healing. Like that, perfect. Include that in Final Fantasy.
Yep.
But then you're practically removing the whole turn-based system hybrid that they have.
And it's such a good system, but I just feel like, why not just have the specials? I don't know. Like, there's something about the specials that feel like they should just automatically be used, and that there should be another system that is encouraging you to switch in order to maybe do very specific types of damage. So maybe Cloud being the attacker, I'm going to want to prioritize attacking at certain points, or maybe I want to prioritize having Barrett being used as my primary attacker because I need to aim at certain points on the boss or certain enemies that are flying around, or have Tifa as the one that I'm running around with because I need to do very specific crit damage or very specific kind of status effects. Or I'm switching to Aerith, I think is her name, because maybe I
Yes.
want to have certain buffs available to my characters. I don't know. It's a good system, but it's also it showcases a failure to understand that there's a reason why it's one or the other and not necessarily both. Like you can have ways to make a turn-based system more engaging, which is what Clear Obscure did, or you make an action game that has other party members but gives you tools in order to control how they behave on the field. Or you do what Dragon Age does, or like any of these other games that we've been playing, where, all right, it's a live action game and the characters are moving, but at any point in time, you pause and then choose what actions you want the characters to do at very specific points.
Mm.
And now they go off and do their actions. So, yeah. It's an infuriatingly good game.
It is.
And it's a hard pill to swallow if you're someone who doesn't have the mental bandwidth to deal with because that's what it comes down to. You need to have the mental bandwidth to handle that level of multitasking, because that's what essentially what you're doing. And it works a treat once you get into the rhythm of it. But if you're not in the mood and you just want to play a fun action game with really cool fucking cutscenes, because my god, Square Enix, your animation team is like second to none.
Oh, since the dawn,
Like
they have never failed cutscenes ever.
Yep. So yeah, if you don't have the mental bandwidth, you're not going to have a fun time. You're going to get to a point, and then you're going to have to deal with certain enemy types and just be like, Jesus fucking Christ, how the fuck do I deal with this thing? But that's the beauty of games. Not everything is necessarily for everyone. Not everything is necessarily suitable for your...
Of course.
For you at this point in time in your life, depending on what you are doing or what stresses or things are happening in your day to day. So you might feel like, okay, I don't feel like a difficult game. I'm going to chuck on something that I can... I mean, we had this chat recently where after this, I feel like playing something like Liza P. I feel like playing something where I feel like a god, where I feel empowered. I think this is where games like Fable and Crimson Desert are going to succeed, because I think we've been so inundated with these games that are constantly pushing us and punishing us that suddenly playing something like a Crimson Desert, where it goes, we're going to punish you, but based on what I've read from the developers, we're going to give you all the tools so that if you want to break the game, fucking go break it. If you want to over-level and overpower yourself to the point that, you know, the end bosses are like a cakewalk, go nuts. We've given you the tools. And I think that's just as fun as here we're going to make it as challenging and as difficult so that you feel rewarded when you do eventually accomplish it.
Yeah.
So there's a place for every type of game.
To go back to the point, Intermission is a DLC of Yuffie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Brand new.
Yep.
Who's to say they wouldn't include a version of Dirge of Cerberus in 3 as a post 3 game? And
I doubt it.
Purely just Vincent's. Why not, though?
Because Dirge of Cerberus, for all intents and purposes, was panned as a fun or even worthwhile experience.
I'm just calling it Dirge of Cerberus because that was Vincent's
So you're
game.
all right,
But what if it's a DLC based on, okay, you can play as Vincent and this is that side of the story? Or this is the Advent Children DLC and you get that final epilogue of everyone. Final farewell. This is where we're all at now.
that would be cool. I just don't know whether that's even worth their time or investment. Like how many
Why?
people were really that obsessed about Advent Children? Like a lot of people watched it, but
It's
then
the
how many
ending of
people?
their stories.
Yeah, but is it in any real substantial way that actually adds anything of substance to the original game? Because let's face it, the original games had a proper ending.
Incomplete, but yeah.
Depends on what your
6,
version of incomplete.
7 was never finished because a certain character was meant to come back.
What, Aerith?
Spoilers, yes.
Was she actually?
She was meant to be revived.
Oh, what happened to that?
There's files in the original game where she actually has more stuff that she was meant to come back.
I've always heard mixed things about that, so I don't know. I really don't know.
And it doesn't make sense for her, but anyways, it's fine. I haven't finished Rebirth. I don't know what's going to happen.
She dies. Spoiler alert.
What?
I know. They kill her again.
What?
Yep, I know.
No,
Shocker.
and what next? You're going to tell me it was Sephiroth who did it?
I know. He does. With a big fuck you sword.
What?
I know.
Ugh.
Spoilers.
And next you're going to tell me it's not actually Sephiroth.
That depends. Which Sephiroth are we talking about?
Well, okay. Completely spoiler territory.
Ooh.
This is what I think they could change because Sephiroth is dead the whole time and it's actually Genova leading Cloud to the body of Sephiroth to see the meteor and to have the final fight. Genova killed Aerith because she was the last of the ancient civilization of the Earth.
The Aeons? Aeons? No, just Ancients. Yeah, maybe just Ancients.
Yeah, the Ancients.
It's been ages since I've played fucking 7.
Because the Aeons are essentially the summons, like Ifrit and all that. Which I fucking love how they do that in the Rebirth. Fuck, it is so... It's just built into the world.
Yeah.
Oh, love. Oh my god. I just want to play Rebirth now. Fuck. I'll do that tomorrow or later today. That could change in the third one where they do successfully revive her and she comes back. Look, classic Japanese trope. Character dies, they come back, hair gets cut. That's a sign of change.
Yep.
I could see that happening. I could also see a epilogue of some sort of Advent Children-esque story being told as DLC. I truly think that they are going to do everything they can to put a nice bow on the story the way that they want to tell the story while telling this multiverse timeline, because throughout Rebirth there's 2 universes happening at once. I haven't gone through one of the biggest spoilers of Rebirth.
Yep.
Which, should I talk about? I mean, we pretty much spoilt OG 7. So are you comfortable with me telling this? Or I don't. You know what? No,
Leave
I
it
won't. I
because
won't.
yeah, I don't have the specifics. I know something similar happens, but it's also different. But the
It
specifics of
is
it, I don't
very
know. Like I know they've changed a lot in this game while also keeping it as close to the original pacing of 7.
Mhm.
So, yeah, there's I just yeah, I don't know. I haven't experienced it. I haven't gone through it, so I don't even know what the comparisons are. Plus, it's funny, even after I played 7, so much of it feels more like a distant memory that I would probably almost need a refresher on the 7 storyline to then go and start playing the base game. So I've actually got that fresh in my head.
Mm. Ah, that's right. Sephiroth's brother. Yep.
Not his uncle?
Well, uncle,
Yeah.
dad,
And sister?
mother,
Yeah, he's sister Amelia.
Emilia.
Yeah. They were making out in part
Sephiroth
8.
and his sister were making out.
Yep.
I really need to finish 8.
Oh, Geneva. Oh, please, Geneva.
No, that's his mom.
No, his mom's Genova. Geneva's the grandma.
Oh, Geneva. So this is my mom, Genova, and this is her mom, Geneva. And
Oh god, I'm losing it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is I want this game series to just conclude so then I can start fucking playing them. Cause fuck me going through 1 and then waiting for 2, or then like going 1 and 2 and then waiting for 3 to then replay some of this stuff. It's getting to the point for me where, because these development cycles are so long, do I really want to be playing this game now and then waiting 6 years for a sequel to come out? Like, fuck no. Fuck no.
that's why I think part 3 will come out next year.
Yeah.
And to be fair, by the time you finish Remake, Intermission, and Rebirth, 3 would be close to coming out.
Possibly.
Because that whole. I'm sitting at 96 hours for Rebirth. It's long.
I know. The problem is, I've already just sunk in 70 something hours into Kingdom Come 1. And theoretically, 2's going to be roughly the same. So that's going to take a substantial amount of time.
Oh,
I've
God,
then got, what is it? The James Bond game that I'm curious about. Crimson Desert, which after this recent showcase, I am
I'm so
curious
sorry
about.
to interrupt.
Go.
The release date for 007 I know it's this year. It's not March.
No, it got pushed back to April, I think.
April.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes.
Yep.
Sorry. Continue.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, so there's obviously the new 007 game that I want to try out.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Which, technically speaking, I would also want to go through and do the Hitman series, the recent games, because I haven't even gone through them. I started that first mission and I still can't fucking get my head around one component of the Paris mission, which is driving me nuts, because the original games I used to have no issues. I loved them to pieces. But for some reason, that first level, I cannot figure out the best, easiest solution to get upstairs. And I need to just spend some time exploring that fucking Paris party to figure out who do I need to kill or which suit do I need to get in order to go upstairs and assassinate the fucking bitch in her little office. And it's the only reason that I haven't continued playing the rest of that game, and then 2 and 3 with its corresponding, DLC and everything else. But essentially, 007 First Light, that I want to try. What was I saying before?
Crimson Desert.
Crimson Desert, which after the recent gameplay showcasing with all the combat stuff, has actually intrigued me. Because there's something
for the next drop.
Yeah, I'm curious what that third video that they're gonna do is. But the combat stuff that they showed off, I was like, ooh, this actually is starting to look better. There's more that they're not showing. I'm hoping there's more, but it's just I can't help but feel like they've shown so much that I'm like, stop it. But every time they show a new trailer, they show like a new snippet of something that was just not there before. I'm like, ooh, okay, there are some surprises. Shit. Fuck. So that's a curiosity that I want to see. And then you've got smaller titles like your Mouse P.I. There's Replaced that I want to play, which is a side scroller. You've got GTA at the end of the year. What else was there? There was a bunch.
Darksiders?
Honestly,
I don't think that's coming out this year.
No, and I'm kind of... You know what it is about Darksiders? I finished 1. I never finished 2 or 3. I'm excited for the prospect of 4 if it's going to have co-op. But my frustration is the fact that I just want Remnant 3. I don't care about Darksiders.
Yeah.
So you're working on Darksiders, but sacrificing, I think, a series that I feel you could be working on and would be better suited, in my opinion.
Such a successful series.
Has become one, yes. So that's my big frustration with Darksiders. But yes, all right. So Reanimal I'm curious about. The new Bond game I'm curious about. Mouse P.I. I'm curious about. What was that? It was in March. Replaced, I want to play. The new X-Men Wolverine game, because I'm a massive Wolverine fan. Phantom Blade Zero, I am curious about. Obviously, GTA 6. And then there's like a whole bunch of these other titles that are going to be coming out in the next, theoretically, 6 to 12 months that don't even have release dates. Like the Gothic remake. I've seen some recent footage that came up for that. I want to know more. Fable 4. I want to know more. I want to get excited for that again, but I need to see more. So that on top of the fact that then I have to accommodate for the Final Fantasy games, which, I could start playing, but there's all this other new stuff that, and as Impulsive said as well, theoretically there'll be a release date for Onimusha, which is something else that I'm excited about. And then Lords of the Fallen 2, which I reckon is going to be a fucking phenomenal game after how they've patched 1.
I'm looking forward to the Godslayer because that's going to be the closest we'll ever get to an Avatar: The Last Airbender game.
Yeah,
that's actually solid.
That looked impressive, but I am just so cautious about these Chinese companies, about how they create their games.
You know, I completely forgot to add this onto my topic of games I wanted to talk about. I just looked at my wish list. My childhood dream is coming alive.
Which one?
So the people that brought you Train Sim World 4, 5, 6, Train Simulator Classic are coming out with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, you're joking.
Wonders of Sodor. It is a Thomas the Tank Engine train simulator game where you play as the characters. I'm sorry, but I'm fucking excited.
You're fucking joking.
It's
Is
a
this for
legitimate.
real?
Yeah, it's coming soon, and I'm so fucking excited.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. Holy shit. How's that for reliving my fucking childhood right there?
Right. I forgot.
Oh my
I completely
God.
forgot. I cannot wait.
Dude.
Wait, is this it?
I don't know
No,
if this is not
no,
it.
this is the DLC for Train Sim World. No, they're making an actual game. It's called Thomas and Friends.
Thomas and
yeah, that
Friends. Holy
one.
shit.
Wonders of Sodor.
What
just got
the
announced.
Fuck. That's crazy.
If you click on the Steam.
Oh yeah, here we go. Holy fucking shit.
Yep. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum.
Wow. No fucking way. That's neat. That's really fucking cool. Sheepers. Too much, man. Too much. And then, like, Enshrouded's eventually going to get its 1.0. So going through that. And then, as well, No Rest for the Wicked, that I'm just waiting in anticipation for them to say, and here's 1.0, and here's the rest of the content. And it's going to be another 20, 30 hours of dungeon crawling and world exploration of the islands. It's just like, fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently there's not enough games coming out. Just putting it out there. There's no games coming out.
There isn't.
No. So everything that's coming out is just trash. Jesus Christ, people. Be grateful for what you've got. We live in such a good time for video gaming. It's unfortunate that the tech is as expensive as it is, but my God, do we have amazing content at the tips of our fingers to play through, to experience, and to share with others. Such as the Yap Yap game that you fucking threw at me this morning. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's on
Watch
sale.
the trailer. And I went, holy shitballs, I am buying that. Thank God to Friend Slop Games. Because boy, are they an ever-existing point of proof that you don't need a large team of animators to make highly detailed, highly resed 4K textures to make a game fun and exciting. If you just make a really cool concept and decide whether you're making it to play with other people or play by yourself, you're gonna get people buying it. And Yap Yap seems to be that fucking... Man, I was impressed. I was honestly just blown away by how this game even operates. And then they shoot the pan. Boom. Like, what the fuck, man? It's just, yeah. Looks like such a fun dungeon crawler with some intrigue and mystery and then chaos mixed in. Because, of course, you can fuck around with the physics and the environment, so. Just too good. Too good. Too many games, not enough content, not enough time, not enough content.
Not enough content.
Christ. Any final words, Street Rats?
Oh, if you ever get your wisdom teeth taken out, make sure you have general anesthetic and go under.
No, just go cold turkey.
Fuck that.
Cold turkey, man.
It was so
no
funny.
anesthetic, no painkillers. just
So I held off for a while to get my teeth, my wisdoms out.
Well, when it's $2,700, I get
it. So expensive. But my dentist is like, yeah, I've got a surgeon who could come in. We'll do it in the chair. And I'm like, am I going to be put under? She's like, no. And I was like, no, absolutely fucking not. She's like, but it's expensive. I'm like, I'm aware, but I'm not going to be awake for it. Then I spoke to the surgeon and he's like, yeah, we can do general anesthetic or we can do twilight anesthesia. I'm like, what is twilight anesthesia? And he's like, so we completely numb you so you don't feel anything, but you're awake. And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay. And I was like, no, I don't want to be awake. I don't want to.
Very adamant.
No, absolutely not. And I had my third best sleep. Actually, that's a lie. I always sleep well. I'm very lucky that I can sleep so easily.
Fucking how fortunate for you, because I forgot the last time I had a decent sleep, let alone my wife who has to deal with God knows what kind of wake up times.
Well, that's not my fault that you decided to procreate.
No, that's right. It is our fault. We chose to do it and it felt good at the time, and now we live with the consequences, don't we? It's lovingly, of course.
Best.
Oh, she's a treat. She is
absolutely.
A treat.
She's beautiful.
She is, provided she sleeps and listens, which she hasn't been, and has been quite stubborn. She's getting more active, I will say that much.
Oh.
She's like really moving around the house more and finding ways. Poor thing, she came into my study today. She got a blood nose, and in the most weirdest way possible. So, came into my study. She's got this obsession with checking out my guitars, because I've now got, in the new study, I've got the guitars set up. And she'll kind of use them to hold, and she kind of uses them to hold herself up. Of course, the guitars are right next to the amp, which is behind the foot pedal. So I can just plug it in and just play and jam and do whatever I want. So she's kind of looking at the guitars, she's fiddling with them, and then she was turning around and holding herself on the amp, and she kind of, I don't know how, but she somehow managed to slip and roll onto her back, so she landed on the foot pedals. And it didn't look like a heavy hit, but it was obviously enough to startle her and feel some amount of pain where she just broke into tears. And so I picked her up straight away. Like I'm at this point, I'm playing a little, trying to entertain her while she's looking at the guitars. She slipped. I put my guitar down straight away, picked her up, and just out of nowhere, blood just starts like pouring out of her nose. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Poor thing. So, yeah, she's had a bit of an interesting day today. And then she was vomiting the night before. Oh my God, projectile vomit from a kid.
Oh,
Jesus. Oh,
what?
dude. So Kate got the worst of it. She got the night. So it was basically night feed, fed her. This is at 11 p.m. She projectile vomits. So Kate's calling me to help, and I'm like helping clean up because she's made that much of a mess. So we're like stripping the bedding, stripping the clothing, cleaning up what we could. And she apparently did that again a second time at like 1. Gone to bed, I wake up, do the 4 a.m. feed, and at like 4:15, as I'm holding her, she's kind of doing this, and I'm like, "Are you pooping?" And no, she's just kind of going, and I'm like, "Oh God!" And I'm in
Ooh.
shock by this point. And then she's kind of gone again. I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" And then by the third time, like, Kate, 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 ah! She's like, I'm coming. And I've just got all of this milk all over my chest, on my arm, just covered in it. So that was fun. And I felt bad for the kid because it's just like, oh, Jesus, now we got to worry about what she's going through. And we thought maybe she's got gastro, but nope. I don't think it's gastro. Turns out she's just had something that just didn't agree with her. And she decided to share her current meals with us. So,
Caring is sharing.
yep. But no, she's doing a bit better now. No issues thus far, which is good. Let's keep it up.
Good.
Kids. Bundle of joy. Anyway, we will end it there.
Yes.
I think that's a good place to end it. The only other thing I did want to mention, there's all that talk around the Steam Steam
machine?
getting no, not the Steam machine. Steam getting sued for what was it? I had notes of this the other week. Essentially, there's a lady who works for a specific company who is putting through a lawsuit against Steam because they've been doing unfair practices towards the consumer. And her opinion, based on her facts, is that Steam is charging, and this is in the UK, so Steam is apparently overcharging with their, I think it's the 30% markup. She believes that customers in the UK are getting overcharged for their games because now developers are obviously having to put their games up higher on Steam. And I can tell you right now, that's a load of bullshit, on top of the fact that I don't think people understand what that 30% goes towards.
Isn't that the Steam price? That Steam gets 30%?
Yeah, exactly. And they're not the only ones that charge 30%,
No.
mind you. PlayStation does the same thing. The only ones that don't are Epic Games and the Microsoft Store, which nobody cares about. But because Steam is the most successful on PC, for some reason and they're independent, that's apparently a bad thing. And I find it funny that someone is sitting there going, oh, but customers are being overcharged on Steam because of that 20-30% markup. And developers are having to increase the game price. No. If you go to any other one of these sites, whether it's GOG, whether it's Epic, whether it's any of these sites, you look at any game, and unless that specific site has chosen to have a sale on, the game is actually going to be charged at the exact same price. Yeah. And then there's the other complaint about the fact that, oh, your content that you buy on Steam doesn't work on GOG. Like if you're buying DLC on Steam, that DLC doesn't work on GOG or Epic or anywhere else. It's like, yeah, well, that's the same as any other storefront. If I was to buy on Epic, it's not like any of that content's going to work on Steam. Or if I buy something on GOG, it's not going to work on Epic. What is your point here? Like, if you're going to tell Steam off, why aren't you telling the other companies off? Oh, yeah, because, again, they're so successful and they're the main market leader in the PC storefront. I don't see what the issue is here.
I don't either.
There's a really fun video that a YouTuber by the name of Legendary Drop did recently, and he kind of goes into more detail and depth. But yeah, suffice it to say, I really hope Steam kind of nips this in the butt and actually just wins the court case, because all of this fighting right now over the 30% markup, guys, you better hope that one day Steam doesn't turn around and decide you need to pay a subscription so that you have access to cloud storage or have access to certain types of other features within Steam. Because right now we're living in a good time where I guarantee you a lot of that 30% not only goes towards maintaining the servers and maintaining the security and the safety of the platform, but also goes towards the new improvements to the storefront to allow for more community involvement amongst the consumers as well as the developers. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what's available. And it's probably what also allows them to do a lot of the R&D that is now existing within their company to make things like the Steam Deck or make things like the Valve VR or even the Steam Box that is being delayed because of all the RAM shortages. So I don't see an issue with what they're doing because they're just trying to make the most out of what they're getting while providing the best possible service to the consumer. Yeah. It's sad. That was literally the only other news that I want to talk about last week, but we got on a bit late, so
Yes. Well, uh, I'll be going live on Wednesday.
what are you playing?
I'll be continuing my adventures through Lies of P because you've inspired me to continue playing, and I'm making headway, so it's good.
You're getting there.
So,
You're getting there.
Yeah, well, I haven't even reached the DLC yet. Jesus.
I'm trying to remember what you're up to for the next bit. Oh, yeah, you've got that, and then you unlock. Okay. Yeah. I reckon the next big boss battle you'll be fine with. It's nothing too. It's like a redux version of a boss you've already done. So you'll be fine.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the game, you then have two options by that point. You can choose to start the DLC, because that unlocks at that point if you've bought it, or you can continue down the main quest, which now works you towards the end of the game.
Right. Okay.
So, which is where I'm at, but I've chosen to do the DLC first. So I'm now exploring that and kind of put the base game on hold for the time being.
Yeah. Because I do want to do the DLC first before continuing on. So as soon as I get access to it.
Apparently, it's more advised to do a decent chunk of the base game, get close to the end, and then do the DLC, just because of how certain story elements line up. But I've chosen to just do DLC because I'm like, fuck it. I'm here. I might as well do the DLC. Even if I don't get through it and I get stuck at certain points, I can always go back. And I will say, the DLC will push you. If you think the base game up until this point has been hard, the DLC is worse. Trust me on that. Like the base enemies.
I believe you.
The base enemies increase in the challenge. And then you got two major boss battles that you'll have to get your head around. The second one, which I think is a beautiful boss battle, but I gotta admit, after an hour and a half of figuring her out.
Oh, I watched.
Oh, did you watch the recent video I posted?
I did. I watched
That was fun. That was a fun
so
edit.
funny.
That was such a fun edit.
You have done such a good fucking job with that. I
Took a while.
really enjoyed it.
I had to switch around one or two of the encounters because they technically play in order of how I died, but I switched them around just so I could get some of the timings with the song.
Yeah,
So that was fun.
It worked though.
Yeah.
But I know what to expect now. Is she the one that you were saying is like Maria?
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a beautiful fight, and if you watch the actual fight when I did beat her,
yeah.
I
was stressing. You had no health.
Yeah.
No health potions. And I'm like, oh my God, please make it. Please make it.
Yeah,
You've almost got it. You've almost got it.
That's why I left that last video. I'm like, you know what? You'll see all the bits of me dying, and now you can watch me struggle through this fight on that. And that was so intense. I got to that last bit, and I could see the white bar, and I'm like, oh, I got to do the
visceral.
The heavy attack first before the visceral.
Yeah.
But my brain had this brain fog, and I forgot what button I needed to press for the secondary. And if it wasn't for her getting into the stun animation, which was, oh, I've hit that next peak of damage to her. Awesome. That my brain went click. Now I've got time to use the heavy attack. Now I do the visceral. Now I finish her off. Yay! Just as I was close to dead.
It's so funny because as soon as you defeated her, I started clapping, and then you started clapping, and I'm like, yay!
Yeah. Man, the adrenaline I had. It took me it took me 2 minutes just to settle down. It was that intense. And I felt like I kept my cool relative within the fact that I spent an hour and a half with her. So, yeah. No, that was tough. No. So, yes, you'll be doing your Lies of P.
Yes. So I'll go through that. Because I want to finish Lies of P and the DLC so then I can start playing Final Fantasy 12 as my next game to stream.
Yep.
And then hopefully by Saturday, I'll have OBS all set up with being able to stream nicely on both Twitch and YouTube.
Nice.
Hopefully. Because I do want to continue playing Baldur's Gate. I want to actually reach Moonrise Towers.
I just want to finish this game, man. I want this game done, not because I'm hating it. I love it. But I want to move on to other things that we are going to have just as much fun playing and fucking around with.
Yeah.
One of them I'm excited to play with you, but I would also like it to be complete before we start it. So if we wait for that, that's fine.
Yep.
But
hopefully by then they would have fixed some of the optimization, because that town. So tonight when we said that we'll play it, I put it on, and it was running at about 23 frames to 17 to 2 back to 23. I was like, okay,
it has.
So I think waiting for that, I'm fine with waiting. I'm very excited to play No Rest for the Wicked together. But not yet. Yeah. And plus, Act 3 of Baldur's Gate is just as big as Act 1 and 2.
I know. That's what also scares me. It's for fuck's sake.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't need more. That's the thing. It's so much already, and I don't need more. But anyway. So yes. And as for myself, I will too also be doing Lies of P on Wednesday, 7:30 Australian Melbourne time. And then, of course, Street Rat and I will be theoretically continuing Baldur's Gate. We were hoping to do more. I really actually want to do more. I was hoping we would actually start the Moonrise Tower. But I'm glad
need to get this shit figured out.
I'm glad we got that small little encounter out the way. So that was fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Same.
that was tough. So that'll be next week, Saturday, 7:30. Again, Melbourne, Australian time. My brain slowly disappearing into the ether. Thank you all so much for joining us, not just for Baldur's Gate, but also for this wonderful podcast. Stay tuned till next week. And everyone, look after yourselves, have a safe time, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Good night.